What up, everybody? Good evening. How's everybody doing tonight? Real fast, want to say hi to everybody here in the group. How's it going, Steve? How you doing today?
It's going pretty well, Robert. I had a pretty good no, no. It was a crazy day today. So I'm driving to work, and I always go on the interstate right to DC, and then it's just like these what do they call them? Those electricity poles, the transformers.
Uh-huh.
It's like six of
Robots
them.
robots in disguise.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so six of them blew out supposedly. Like I found out after, but like they lit up the sky like purple, blue, and purple and blue. And
You
it was
thought you
so
were looking at the
foggy.
Northern Lights.
Yeah, I was like, That's pretty." And then it just started going like everywhere, but the fog made it like blow up even more. So I was like, "All right, let me pull over." War of the Worlds type of thing, man. It was lighting up the air like crazy. It was cool, but other than that, it was a pretty good day.
Well, just so you know, in that situation, if you get scared, you can call me. All right.
Yeah, Robert, what do I do? No, thanks for the invite, though.
No problem, man. William, we should call you ASV Collectibles or William. What should we call you,
Either,
man?
either or, William's fine. It's just ASV Collectibles, my logo, so my page. But I
Gotcha.
just put it on there just to have it on there. I kind of doubled it there when I was typing it in. But a little bit of rush. I know we got some guys in the chat that don't know me, but running. I'm out of state right now on work, so I'm in a hotel. And Jarhead hit me up, said, "Hey, let's join the chat." I said, "Cool, let's do this, man." I'm super excited to be a part of you guys' panel here today. So thanks for inviting me.
The
Appreciate
chat is
you
used to
coming on.
panel members in hotels because that's where
Yeah,
Jarhead
yeah,
always
Obviously.
broadcasts from.
yeah. Even the
Yeah,
host.
if I knew earlier, I would have brought my green screen, and pretended to have statues behind me and kind of played with it a little bit. So that would have been cool.
That's
But
all
no,
right. You
yeah, I
got the low
appreciate the love.
ES, the hangers. What is it for?
Low
Yeah, right back there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Those
all
are
right.
Those are
custom
limited
too.
edition
Those are
hangers,
custom.
probably.
Those are
Yeah,
limited
that's
edition.
right. Yeah,
What does
yeah.
the ASV stand for? Does it stand for anything?
It does. It's kind of like my initials. Originally, some surprisingly, no one's ever asked me, but is my last name, so it's just Alves is
Gotcha.
my last name, and then I was gonna go ASU originally, but there's already ASU, and I didn't want to,
Hmm.
brand differently. The ASU commercials, if you ever heard. So I put V instead of. It was gonna be
Gotcha.
Alves Statue Universe, kind of.
Okay.
So I was like, well, I can't do ASU. I don't want to get in trouble for that. So I put
Right.
V. So pretty much verse instead of universe, it was just half. So I just kept it like that. Alvis statue verse, pretty
There you
much.
go.
So, and since we collect statues, I just slap collectibles on there, and I was like, yeah, that works. That works for me. So it's good enough.
We'll we'll
Not,
come
Well,
up
not,
we'll come up with a nickname for you later tonight.
I got
We
plenty of
always do.
those.
We always do.
I got
there,
plenty of
there,
those.
there
Just
could
don't want.
only be one person I call by their first name on the stream, and he's right there. So,
It's all
but
good.
welcome.
Whatever you guys want. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Just don't ask my wife the nickname she gives me because that's inappropriate. So
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, man.
thank you.
Piggy, man, I
Good.
think you time it. I think you time it to when the show starts. Like you hop on every time when the countdown's going. It's like, oh, there's Piggy every time.
If you guys literally knew that my nickname is based on my behaviors, I'm literally in the refrigerator throwing food and smoothies and everything in my face up until like the little timer goes off and it's like I gotta run upstairs and log in.
But
So literally,
appreciate you
I'm down
showing
there.
up, man. Even if you like to make an entrance, it's cool.
Yeah, it cuts into my foodie time, but it's worth the sacrifice to be on with you guys. So I'm happy to be here and talk about some customs and even some licensed statues.
Yeah, the license crap.
Yeah, the 5 minutes we dedicate to the licensed pieces
Yeah,
per week.
That's all it deserves right now. That's good.
yeah.
I agree.
I'm pretty sure we each have a license piece somewhere in the background.
One or two,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got I
we
got a
take them
lot
out
of them,
sometimes.
but I mean it ain't came out
Am I
recently.
freezing?
yeah. So you got your crap license side, and then the good side are the customs, and you have crap on top and good here. So
Absolutely.
Try not to put
distinguish
anything
between.
on the bottom because that's like the worst place to put it. But when
Yeah,
you run out of space, you have no choice.
you got
Something's
no
got to
choice.
go there.
Yeah.
Dion was once all licensed until the XM separation, and now he's
No, no, man,
dark
no,
side.
no, no. My first custom. When did I buy my first custom? Probably like a year after I started. So
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
yeah, but nah, man. At this point, it's gonna be mostly customs anyway, because my folks is messing up. So
Legend has it that you bought your first license piece when you saw Jarhead's license piece, and then you had to get.
Well, since we lost our host, Dion,
we don't need them,
how's your day going?
man. You trying to be funny, man? Piggy started that,
Yeah.
man. It's going good, man. Oh, we really don't have our host. He's
Yeah, I
really
think you
gone.
just.
Well,
No,
well,
he's bounced.
Dion's the heart of customs produced.
Oh
So
yeah,
we
let me
We
change
got
it
it,
up.
handle
Let me
man.
change it
I
up.
didn't
I got
title
you. I
it that
got you.
today. But no, it's going good, man. I'm just ready for like Christmas break or something because I'm tired. I need some time off.
Hell yeah, don't we all? Awesome, awesome. How about you, Matt? How's your day? How's it going, man?
It's going all right. Much like you, I'm here in the DMV, so the weather was a little crazy, it was rainy, but it was still warm, right?
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
with this fog that we keep getting though,
Yeah, the
man?
fog was crazy, right? But
The fog is insane.
it's supposed to drop down. Temperature's supposed to drop tonight, though. I think they said so.
All right, get him out of here.
And I just got back. I was out of town, man. Had some college visits and some baseball showcases. So just got back the other night. So good to be back just to chill.
Well,
We
awesome, Matt.
lost them again.
I thought he was joining us.
Every time we try it, like...
He was he was upset you guys were calling license piece garbage, so he keeps logging himself out. It doesn't show his anger in his face, so now he's cooled down a little bit.
I
You
suspect
gotta love this internet at
the
the
dial up,
hotel. So,
the dial up.
yeah.
The dial up, yeah. You can hear it ringing in the back.
You've got mail.
So did I miss anybody? Did Mr. Heartbeat?
You
How's your
missed
day going?
Mr. Kennedy's his comment, best comment of the night.
Dion, the heart of custom print.
We had the whole show, Jarhead. You're really late.
That's fine.
We was good. You ain't had to come back. We're good.
How's your day been going down?
Man, it's going all right, man. I was telling the guys, I'm just ready for like a break. I'm ready to go on like some holiday leave or something. I'm just tired, man. Tired of driving, tired of going to work and all that. Nothing's coming in, so I mean, I'm gonna have to occupy myself with something.
We got to
Yeah.
pay for these pre-orders, man.
Yep.
Keep motivated.
Man,
Yep.
pre-orders that are not coming.
Yep.
Well,
aren't most of them already
Those
paid off too?
pre-orders.
why don't you go to Singapore with the money that you're saving and go check it out?
Man, you know what? So it's funny you say that, right? Because
You were
before
thinking
all
that?
no, seriously. Before this whole, I mean, I travel a lot anyways for work,
Mm.
but before this fallout happened, I was looking at possibly booking like a trip to Singapore.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
But now I'm like, nah, I'm good.
You didn't know what you would do to him. Me too. Me too.
Other than to hang out with Art, I don't even know nobody else in Singapore.
Yeah. Yep.
But Matt, how you doing today?
Good. I was catching up with Steve and Dion about the what was it? War of Worlds blowing up the weather in this area.
Yeah.
Fog.
Yeah.
You guys remember that movie, The Fog? You guys ever
Yeah,
see
that
it?
was pretty good.
The
Yeah, that was
remake or the other one, the John Carpenter?
Actually, I saw
I like
both.
the John
I
Carpenter.
guess both of them, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Either one of them, same concept, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, cool, man. Just crazy weather, and I was telling him I just got back in town. I was been traveling last weekend and stuff. So
That's going around, man. It's like the end of the year. Everybody's catching up on work and trying to, finish stuff up before the holidays and everything. So, but appreciate everybody showing up today. Real fast, say hi to everybody that's in the chat. Random Korean, what's up, man? Mr. Kennedy, what's up? Jojo, what's up, man? George Moss, what's up, man? Vibranium Jim, how you doing? Hey, we just saw a video of you a while yesterday, right? That was
Oh yeah,
it was from what, a couple years ago.
yeah. Earlier, yeah, around February of last year, I think so.
We need to get you back on the shows, man.
Yeah.
And Random Korean, what's up, man? But so real fast, we'll just go right into the topic for today. Let's see here.
I don't know how to do it.
Aftermarket value.
Okay, right. That.
So
I think it's like that.
something I've been thinking about, like as far as like customs versus licensed statues. Like, do you guys think that custom statues hold a higher value on the aftermarket than licensed pieces do?
Hell yes. In
It's
most
just something I've
cases,
been noticing.
always, because the ES1 is low. Two, a lot of people don't know how to get them from like the commissioners and stuff. So like if you put it on eBay, it's more accessible to somebody that was not in the group or maybe never seen it to begin with. So yeah, definitely.
I think it depends.
It's just something I've been noticing. I don't know. I know a lot of people don't care about that necessarily, but I know there's a lot of us that do. Like, just in case we ever wanted to sell our statues, we could, you know. But I just wanted to get everybody's opinions and see what they thought. Because, like, what do you guys think is like the most sought after license piece out there that goes for the highest amount of money on the aftermarket?
The one behind
Hulkbuster?
Matt.
You
No,
said
the
what?
one behind Matt as a custom piece, that Omega right there.
You said
Really?
license or custom?
Did you say licensed?
Did you
License.
say like license? Oh, okay. I thought we were talking custom license
license.
piece.
You know what
I
I've been
think.
seeing? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, yeah, I
Like,
apologize.
what do you think? Like from when it came out to now, how much people charge for it? What do you think is the most like it's gone up the most? To me, I think it's either Hulkbuster or the XM Sentinel piece.
I mean, we could just
Yeah.
go down XM's catalog,
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah,
and
I was
just
about to say,
find
you
mine
just
was
go to
X.
XM.
Mine was XM Storm. I see her.
Storm,
Maybe she's
Dark
come down
Phoenix,
recently,
Ghost
but I've seen
Rider.
her like
Scorpion.
$3,500.
Yep, Scorpion, Maestro now at this point.
Batman,
Sentinel.
Shogun Batman.
Yeah, I mean, you
Hush,
could
Hush Superman's still up there. It's not
go
in
down the line.
Issue, but Hush
Hulk
He's
Superman.
actually
transformation.
someone's
So-
actually selling for
Yeah.
2,000 bucks.
Transformations dropped a lot.
Transformations dropped. Yeah, it's dropped.
Out of all of those, though, what do you
wow.
think? Which one goes for the most? Right, Hulkbuster, XM Sentinel.
Probably Hulkbuster.
Hulkbuster.
I-
Sentinel's trash.
I think
Hulk is
Hulk.
the-
Yeah.
the Dio.
What about XM Storm? XM Storm, has she come down any?
She's gone
No,
down.
XM
She's set out a
Storm.
little bit. I've seen it for a lot cheaper than it has been.
Yeah.
But it's
Well, I mean,
nowhere
there's
near
still like
Hulkbuster
twice
cost.
the amount that retail.
Well,
Three
yeah,
times
you
in
get
some cases.
you
Well,
got to think
hold on,
about the
wait.
retail of Hulkbuster. You got to think the retail of Hulkbuster.
how much
That's
was
why.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was
You know
going
what I
to
mean?
say.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah. So
You
if
got to
you're-
look at what it was when it came out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it was a lot
yeah,
when it
that's
already
why.
came out. So
Matt, yeah, I agree with you, Matt. So that's why you kind of look at the retail price of it first, and then you could justify, how much it really lowered and how much it's kind of, balancing itself. That's why I say Hush, because Hush was 1,000, right? 999, and it's still selling for 2,500, right? And the cape one, the sculpted one is still more than the fabric. So, but the price is still up there, and you're right. XM Storm, I think the cheapest I saw was 25 still for her.
Yeah.
So I think those two in the top of my head for licenses. I think they're keeping their value up, or at least
Even
above
XM's
retail.
like Magic and Scorpion are still high
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. Dark Phoenix, same thing.
Dark
what
Phoenix.
was the Shogun Batman on the horse?
$20. Nah. So really quick, the
Like
Hulkbuster,
1,400 or something.
the XM Hulkbuster originally was 1861 USD. Just for
That's
comparison.
crazy though. 1861.
Yeah,
So,
the cheapest I
let's-
found right now is 17. So
Let's
So then-
just go. Let's just
Wait,
go.
you saw
Let's just say
Hulkbuster for 1,700?
no, I'm sorry. Did I say Hulkbuster? No, it's
Yeah.
Oh,
Transformation.
you must have
Oh,
seen one of the
Transformation,
limbs
yeah.
for 1,700.
Yeah.
I ain't seen that.
Transformation. Yeah.
let's just say Hulkbuster, right? Let's just say that, like we go with that. So it goes what, between 4 and 5? You think for a Hulkbuster?
4.
Oh, 4.5.
No way.
I think
I
Godlike
saw-
was selling one. I think he sold his. You can ask him how much he sold his for.
Well, I've seen it go for between 4 and 5. So
Right.
like there's custom statues out there that will blow the value, like the cost of that statue out of the water. XM not XM the custom Wolverine versus Wendigo. I mean that one goes.
Hmm.
You don't ever see it for sale for one, but that
The
one goes
OG.
over 5, 6, 8. I've seen it
That
go for.
last level Magneto is still high.
Can I ask a
Yeah.
quick question? Like, does that mean like it's sold for that, or is that what people are asking for?
No,
It's sold.
it's sold for that. I've seen
Oh,
it sold.
really?
I've seen
Wow.
the last level of Silver Surfer, the one I had, the version one, go for
Hmm.
like 10 grand.
Hmm.
Dang.
So like,
I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
it'll
I,
go for
Wolverine
10
that
grand
does that
now.
too, right?
Yeah, now I've seen it for like 45.
Yeah,
Which-
it
It's
ain't
still
gonna
which
go
one?
high.
10.
That's still
Yeah.
high.
Isn't there like a Wolverine that goes for like 8,000 or something?
That's the one he's
that's
talking about.
yeah, the Wendigo
Okay.
versus
With the
Wolverine versus
Wendigo.
Wendigo.
Oh, the
Wait,
one that you
how
had,
much? Wait. How much?
it's like 8,000 or something. I
8.
seen
Ain't no
people
way.
say.
Ain't no way.
Which is low actually. I
Ain't
last I
no
saw it,
way.
and it was earlier in the year. I think it was 8,000 is when it sold for.
Mhm.
It was usually selling around 10 if it popped up.
Yeah. So
I didn't even think it was that good, to be honest.
I just wanted to compare and contrast, like because you see the value of statues coming down, right? But I see the value of customs still steady or going up. So,
Yeah.
and I don't think a lot of people realize that.
And you know what else is helping it too, right? So like the custom statue prices haven't had that dramatic like increase that you've
Mhm.
seen with licensed pieces. So
Yeah.
being that you're coming in most cases paying like 12, 1300 or whatever. I mean, for it to go up, I mean, it's a win-win situation because you're not paying an arm and a leg to come in and you're like guaranteed to go up. Some of these license statues are going down in value and they're going up when you buy it initially, so
Mhm.
you're losing either way.
It's a tough comparison though, because you guys mentioned the edition size. The edition size, what, like of a normal, or the average for a custom is what, like 30, 40,
Mhm.
maybe 50,
Mhm.
compared to what licensed pieces were like average or like 800, maybe, no, 600, 800, maybe
Batgirl 2200.
2200. God damn. But yeah, well, like custom side, it's cool too because like there's variants. Like, some come in kits, so like you pay just for the kit and then you have to get it painted. So there's like another cost to that. But yeah, I definitely think like they retain their value for the most part.
And that you guys do the edition size?
Yeah, I think highly for the edition size because like what, like you mentioned two of the highest ones, the Wendigo and the Surfer. What are the edition size on those? Do you happen to know?
Surfer was it less than 50? I
Yeah,
don't
see,
remember off the
that's
top of my head.
crazy. It's good though, like edition size just
But you
tells
know,
you right there.
Steve, I don't every time like we have the edition size conversation, I care about edition size,
Mhm.
but it seems like the masses don't care about edition size,
That's
They
me.
Yeah.
which
they don't
you
care
know,
until they get it. Like if they got
Nope.
it, they're like,
Nope. I don't care once I get it either.
"Oh,
Yeah,
really?"
I'm
Yep.
the same
I
way.
have
I'm the same
never
way.
cared. I want the statue because I want it. It holds
Yeah.
some type of nostalgia for me or it fits in my collection. And I don't care if it's 5 or 5 million as long as I
Mhm.
have it.
I'm hearing that
But
more and more, like in groups and stuff too.
but what
Yeah.
Like
happens when
people,
you go to sell that piece though? Like if so, like you're at a room right now, right, and you need to make
Mhm.
space, right? Say you want the newest and best thing, but your statue that you want to get rid of is worth $500. You got
So
it for 2,500.
this is controversial, and I know a lot of people. I've said this before, and a lot of people hate when I say it, but it's what it is. I view everything like I'm buying a car. I feel like it's lost value the minute I
Mhm.
drive it off the lot. If I've gotten my purpose and my fulfillment for it, I'm not expecting to get. So remember when I threw out all my boxes and everyone was like going crazy, like your boxes. What about when you resell? I never ever buy with the intention of reselling. And I know, of course, you want your stuff to retain value. You may not keep it forever, but it's almost like, if I buy a car for, and again, I know it's not the same. If I buy a car for $20,000, I already feel like as soon as I pull up in the driveway, it's only worth 17. And by the time I drive it around the corner, it's worth 14. So if I get 500 for a statue that I've had for 2 years, I've gotten my enjoyment, my value out of it. It's 500.
But
I'll put toward the next
but you
statue.
wouldn't feel better if the car gained value
I
or
would.
your collectible gained value?
I would. I'm just saying I never go in with the perspective. It's nice if I can get my money back or a profit when I sell it, if I sell it. But if I don't, it's like, hey, I got what I needed from it, and I'm gonna move forward to the next statue. Because if not, I'll never buy a statue because I'll be afraid of the resale value, and I'll never get rid of a box because I'm always gonna think what happens if I need to sell and ship it. And I just don't want to be bound by like that fear of it's going to lose value, or wait, I want this statue but they made 300 of them, I'm not going to get my money back. Now if I want it, I want it.
Yeah. I always come with the mentality of it's a collectible, right? So like, just like anything else, like to me, like when you collect something, like the whole point is to collect stuff that retain value or go higher in value. That makes it collectible to me. It's rare and it's worth something. That's a collectible to
But
me.
Jarhead, you kind of hit the nail on the head. It's rare. A lot of these licensed pieces, they're not rare. Like we
Yeah.
just talked about the Batgirl 2200 ES. I mean, customs are still becoming, still rare, but the licensed pieces are not rare. And I think the statue companies are just trying to churn out as much as they can on a character that they know is going to sell. So they don't
Yeah.
really care about what the ES is. You know what I mean? Somebody, I know they're getting a lot of flack because their prices are kind of high, the Supercraft guys. But I mean, they're putting out good stuff, and they seem to be the only company, them and LBS right now, that really care about the ES. Like they're purposely not making high ESs on any of their pieces.
What else did they? Okay, I may have missed something. What else did Supercraft put out though?
Just those two.
Transformers and the Batman.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
Transformers, so I don't know.
But
Yeah.
one more thing, like the word collectible, I think it means different things to different people. Because when I think about collectible, like for me, it means something to me, whether it's nostalgia, whether regardless to what it is. I don't want it to leave my collection. Of course, things rotate out, things leave or whatever. But I'm like Scrooge McDuck with that lucky dime. Once I have it, I want it here forever for the foreseeable
Oh
future.
man, Scrooge
Yeah,
McDuck.
emergencies happen and you have to liquidate your statues or whatever it is you're collecting. But 90%, 99% of the pieces I get, it's with the mindset of I'm going to retain this for the foreseeable future.
Well, you also live in Castle Grayskull too, so
I knew it was coming. I knew it
that,
when I saw
that,
the expression. I knew it.
not everybody has 5 or 6 different wings to their house. We don't have an east and a west wing. We don't have a
Blue
helicopter
room, the
pad.
green room.
We don't have a gigantic, 5 or 6 different living rooms. We don't have that.
But then,
So
then that's when you have to be selective and say, do I really want this statue? Only have one corner to put it. Is this going to be the one of the 3 statues that I'm going to get? Because it's
I
a
just
hassle to me also just to box stuff back up, ship it. I really, to be honest, I hate resale.
It's a hassle to do it. I'm
I
not gonna
hate
lie.
it, man.
It
I
is so
hate
bad.
I think it's just selective, subjective, because if you look at it and the history of customs versus license, the market dictates it and the group, right? So if you hype up a custom group like LL, now you get a kit for 3,400, $4,000 a kit. It's not even painted. Why? Because we've set the bar to the hype on the the license or the customs. 2021, I started collecting 2020. 2021, I wanted to get that Captain Marvel from Sideshow. I have it now. I just recently bought it, but I couldn't get it for less than 1,200. Why? Because the hype was just so high. I end up getting it for like 400. You see what I'm saying? So it just really, really depends on the hype and the company or the group that's doing the custom piece. Because I have custom pieces that aren't worth jack now, but maybe at one point it was. So we as a community select the hype and the value of each custom piece, right? Like I mentioned that Omega Red in the background, right? That's like cream of the crop. Matt, it's got like one of the best pieces. I know the commissioner and everything, and the hype is still super high for that piece. So if you want an aftermarket, you're going to pay a pretty penny. And the ES was really high on that. It wasn't like
But
30.
why do you think that is kept its value so well? Because a lot of people though they don't know about who the commissioner is.
Right, right. No, and that's kind of like the conundrum of collecting, right? So I have that X23 where she's like all bloodied and she's like wiping her face. I
Oh
did an
yeah.
unboxing on it, right? That's still holding its value. Why? Maybe because it's really one of a kind. You got other X23s out there. I don't want to throw out names of groups, but and they're super great, but this one really stands out. So it's just where the vibe is in the community that really bring the value up on it. Because eventually, let's say for Matt's sake, it doesn't drop down and it loses its value. So if he ever were to want to sell it, but I agree with Piggy on this, like you buy it to keep it, and I've never sold anything for profit. I've always either retail or below because it's just that time. But I enjoyed the time I had with the piece. So not all custom groups are created equal. You're not going to get a piece and it'll be like, oh man, that value is going to skyrocket. It just doesn't happen.
I mean, I don't collect in order to flip a statue. Like to me, that's different. People see the hype in the statue, they buy it just to turn around and sell it. I've seen that before. It happens in everything, sneakers,
Everything.
whatever. It happens all the time in different things, and I definitely appreciate like art and stuff like that too. But I don't know. I've always come from the mindset that a collectible to me is, that's exactly what it is. It's a collectible. It either it's going to retain some money or value or whatever in the future, or not that it's not special to me because it is, but also it's collectible. It's rare. That's why I've always stuck to mostly custom stuff, is because when I look at other people's collections, I don't want to see the same statues. I want to be different. I don't.
So I got a question.
Well, except for you keep buying everything that I buy.
So I got a question, and Piggy wrote down. It got me thinking about something. So, is there I guess I'm looking for a definition with a distinction between collectible and memorabilia. Like you said, there's a nostalgia to something that in what you collect or what you get that helps you, because you want it. Is that memorabilia, or is that a collectible?
I don't think it's memorabilia.
So how do you define memorabilia versus collectible?
I think for me personally, I think memorabilia is something from a person that created something, right? So like a Stan Lee would be a memorabilia. So if he did a piece, that Stan Lee's piece, that's a memorabilia. Some random commissioner doing Omega Red is not a memorabilia because who is he, right? Same thing with all your sports athletes, right? You got your Jerry Rice.
He's a character from the comics.
I feel that the memorabilia is based off the person behind it, right? Like a Daniel Bell.
Like if you had a signed
Michael
Darth
Jackson
Vader helmet.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah,
it's a piece of that person, basically.
Yes.
Like,
yeah. So if you had the commissioner sign that Omega Red, who is he? Then nobody knows. It's just some guy that created this awesome piece that we all love. But if you had Michael Jackson's glove with the signature, and so that's a memorabilia. That's the difference between, at least for myself. I mean, we could Google it, but I that's how I see the difference.
I think that's
I view it that way as well.
Yeah.
About like, all right, so quick question on my end. Like, I had this Superman signed by Jim Lee. Could I sell it for a lot more just because I have the signature to you guys, or do you guys see like it's a statue?
Yes.
So really?
It's a statue. It's a statue, but it's signed by Jim Lee. You see what I'm saying? So if it's Jim
now
Lee
is that
art,
memorabilia?
that would consider if it's signatures on it. Yeah.
What's funny with that?
$5,000.
What's funny with that is
10,000.
like say you have it signed by Jim Lee. There's someone like Matt that's gonna be like, you ruined the statue. I don't want it. I wouldn't give you $1 for it because it's signed.
You put a Sharpie all over it and wrote all over it.
And then you have Jarhead where
That
it's
is so
like,
messed
whoa,
up, man. Why
it's
you-
signed. I'll give you 5 times the amount.
Wait, where did he sign it?
On the cake, man. I said it's not. Well, I did say. I was like, dang, man,
Yeah,
on the cake.
yeah.
No, he signed it like on the base.
Wait, on the
his
outside of
feet.
the cake?
This one's signed by this one's signed by
On his
Stan Lee.
stomach?
Yeah, Stan Lee though.
You need to pick better places.
No,
I know,
no,
man. But this is my
man.
first statue ever. But it's my
Steve,
like,
where's
my-
so where the
Give your
cake is
statue a
signed, man?
tramp
At
stamp.
least it wasn't on the groin.
He said Diane said a tramp stamp. But
No,
then
no.
again, you have Jarhead that may say, "Oh man, that's signed by Jim Lee. I'll give you 5 times the amount just for that signature." So
No, you could also say that if Jim Lee signed that and that was a custom piece, it might not be a memorabilia because it's not licensed. So there's that particulars. Remember, everything that's a memorabilia is licensed by some big company. So
also too, if you
there's
get
the
somebody
gray
to
area.
sign something, if you get somebody to sign something, you have to get a witness too. or it really could have been anybody that signed it, right?
Authentic.
You would get
Yeah,
it
so
notarized or
PNP
something.
just signed it right now and said, "Hey, I got him to sign it."
Yeah, you can't just
Yeah, yeah,
how do I know Steve didn't sign Jim Lee's name on that cape?
I got
yeah.
receipts. I got receipts.
Yeah, so there's a gray area there to the memorabilia question. So that's just what I believe in. It could
No,
be a
that's
little
good.
bit different. So, but yeah, if you can get a piece that's, I would say, licensed and Daniel Bell signed it, and it's a licensed piece, then it's like, oh, it's a licensed signed piece. So, because collectors, I mean, I would say that we're all kind of weird in our own ways, and a lot of them, even when I do my podcast and stuff like that, there you see it on the comments. So, license 100, customs is just this and this that, and there's a lot of negative feedback towards it because it's not a license. So it just really depends on where your collectible is going towards, right? If you want to go towards memorabilia, you could go that route, or just love collecting. Like Piggy and myself, I just love collecting.
So knowing all that, ESs don't really matter to you guys. You and Piggy doesn't really ES doesn't really matter to you guys, right? Because it's
No, for
not
for
really.
me, for me at least, it's about the art and the character that's nostalgic and what I grew up with, right? I'm in my 40s, so I grew up with a lot of nostalgic stuff. So it doesn't, if I find a piece that's okay, I PO'd, and I'm not a figure guy, I'm not a 1/6 figure guy, but that Jazzic Michelle Pfeiffer, I bought both of them, the regular and the damaged. It's nostalgic for me. I love that movie. She's the goat to me, as Catwoman. And I don't collect figures, but I did this time, so it didn't really matter, And it's a big ES too. It's not like it's small by any means, and it's a license. I would like to see a custom Michelle Pfeiffer with that portrait. It's phenomenal. It's
Yeah.
perfect. So yeah, it doesn't. I'm not that type of collector where I have to have the lowest ES just to feel it validated, or value in terms, not even validated, but just to feel like I have more value on my shelf. If I'm in need, like Piggy said, and I got to sell it, and I'm only getting $500, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just kind of wanted to start this conversation because it was just something I noticed the other day. I was looking at all the like license pieces that are out there on the market. You see all these crazy deals on all these pieces, and yes, you have license custom pieces, but it's few and far between. It's mostly the license stuff. Like CMP was saying earlier, there's a uh, Superman Hush that's like $2,000. That's not cheap, but it ain't like super expensive how it used to be
Mhm.
either. That piece used to be really really
Really
expensive.
expensive.
That wouldn't last a
Um,
day or like hours, and
yeah,
that's
it wouldn't
yeah.
last at all. I
Mhm.
seen a XM Storm going for local to me. I think he wanted 18
Mhm.
for it.
That's good.
And it's been sitting. No one's bought it.
Mhm.
You
So I
know.
think I think with the economy, number one, the holidays coming up, number two,
Mhm.
and number three,
Mhm.
we're in winter, right? So everyone's utilities, people are home more, your electric bill is higher, your heat bill is higher. People kind of need the money, so they're willing to compromise. And then you have the fact that we're getting fresher editions of a lot of characters from different statue companies. So people are trying to move out one to make room for the more updated version. So like where I use the example of the XM Storm, she was like $3,500 when I won it.
Mhm.
There was no way on this planet I was going to pay that for that. So I was good with the sideshow runner up Storm. That works perfect for my collection. And I just have in my mind, if I really want it, all I have to do is wait. Eventually, I'll get her for $1,000, just like any other statue that I saw that was sky high. If you wait long enough, I know this sounds horrible, but someone's going to be desperate enough to sell it for a
Mhm.
crackhead
Mhm.
price, and you'll get it. So I think it's more so a waiting game. If it's something that you really want and it's too expensive, it'll come down. They all are.
Yeah. If you're a
I-
nostalgia collector, just wait for those pieces you love. Like lately, I mean, if you guys have seen, I've been picking all the nostalgic pieces for dirt cheap lately. Like everything I wanted back in 2001, I'm getting it now for like a quarter of a third of the price that it used to be. My Red Hulk, I'm getting cheap, but Captain Marvel, like all these pieces I wanted, is like finally, I could get these at dirt cheap. And I think you're right, Piggy. I think they're doing is they're liquidating to get the newer stuff, and I still prefer the older stuff when it was porcelain and XM was hand sculpting things, and there was a lot of art and passion behind it. Now you just put it on a 3D printer and then they just mold it and stuff. But right now is the time to get those nostalgic old pieces if you wanted to on the cheap.
I put his YouTube or your YouTube on the chat, so in case anybody wants to check it out.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that, man. Thanks for the love.
Yep,
A
yep.
good example, I wanted a Cobra Commander and a Serpentor a few years ago, and everyone that was selling them on the aftermarket were asking these astronomical prices, and I tried negotiating, and they were laughing like, "No, dude, get out of here." And then fast forward to like a few months ago, some of those same people inboxing me, "Hey, you still looking for this?" Nope, I don't want it. It does fit my collection now.
Exactly. Yep.
What about
So
like
I mean, it's funny. I'm hearing a little bit of different collecting from everybody on the panel. Everybody, I think, collects a little bit differently. You
Mhm.
know,
that's good, right? Like, I mean, you don't want
yeah.
everyone to be collecting the same.
The
Like
variety.
I don't necessarily go for the older pieces, but there are certain ones that I would go for. But
Mhm.
those are the ones that stand the test of time. Like
Yes.
Hulkbuster. I mean, that's a classic, and I don't ever see anything beating that statue. Um, you know,
Licensed.
the yeah, license. Just the detail, it holds up to this day.
Are we
Obviously some of the
talking about XM Hulkbuster? Is that the one
yeah,
we're talking
XM
about? Yeah.
Hulkbuster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I prefer that one over the Queen Studios one. I'm more of a
Yeah.
comic
Yeah.
book guy.
Yeah. Me
Um,
too.
so
I
but
mean,
yeah, it's good.
you could potentially get a custom group that'll do a better one here. Eventually, someone's gonna do a better one.
Somebody did one not long ago, and it
No, it
was all
wasn't.
right.
I know which one you're talking about. I've seen
Yeah,
it in person. Yeah. No.
it wasn't nowhere
No.
near the
Mm-mm.
XM one. So what about you, Matt? What do you think about the subject, man? Is he there?
I think he
Oh, he's
froze.
He
frozen.
froze.
Yeah. Okay.
What about you, Steve, man? What's
Yeah. So I was gonna ask you guys, like, I feel like you guys been collecting for a couple of years now. Do you guys feel more frustrated, like that you guys bought at retail compared to what the prices are now, or you guys are like, I'm still collecting. I still have those pieces, but I'm still collecting more older pieces because the prices are so good to pass up and everything. To where like, should I just keep waiting for like things to go back down, or are you guys? Is it a perfect time to buy now?
I think personally for me, I think it's the time to buy now.
Yeah.
Here's how I feel it works with the community is that you got these license pieces that we talked about that whole value, but let a custom group come out with one better than that one, and that value is going to drop on that license piece. I guarantee it, because there's a hush coming out here soon that's gonna, in my opinion, I've seen it. It's gonna blow out the Prime One Hush. So if it does get produced in 1/3, I got to pick it up. Like I don't want to PO with it, but I feel that the way the art's going now, it's getting better and better and better, and I think it'll happen because I've been picking up XM pieces for the dirt, right? Because custom pieces are coming out with same style of characters and they're better. So it's just timing wise. Right now, personally, I think buying license pieces are really cheap, and if you're missing a piece that you want to get it. Honestly, I think that's the case right now in this market.
Oh my God, to that vein. So my XM Beta Ray build is one of my favorite statues. And just the other week, I saw a custom Beta Ray build that blows it out the water.
Mhm.
Blows it out the water.
Mhm. I know what you're talking about. I love that piece.
It's so dope.
That brings up another subject too. Since we're talking about it, like I've seen statues that are way better than the like you have those quote unquote like classic statues, that everybody
Mhm.
loves and everybody praises here, this and that. But there's better statues out. There's always a better statue that comes out, but nothing ever has the reverence of that particular, like Superman Hush. I've seen a couple of Superman statues that are better than that one, but it's not. It's the reverence of it. Like I love that statue, but you hear people, oh well, like Sideshow's new one, for instance, the one with the Kachurk brothers did. Oh, that one's way better than the Hush. But is it really going to have the reverence, like the can't think of the word, but like
That
the cool
esteem, that
the
value, that
esteem,
the
yeah,
community is assigning
of
to
the
it.
Hush,
Yeah.
because it's only going to be ever one Hush, you know.
Well, there's going to be two here soon. So
Yeah.
there's the OG and the 2.0. I would say. Trust me. I mean, you guys are like myself. We deal with the custom world mostly. Wait till this thing comes out, and then we'll chat about it when it comes out. And honestly, just by seeing what the artist has been doing with that custom husk piece, and maybe because it's newer, right? And like I said, there's people are more creative now when they're sculpting their projects, and Prime One, that was like one of the OGs of them doing it, and it's the detail isn't as well as this new one is. So you're gonna have to compare it not only based on visual, but with time, right? This was made 4 years ago. This is made now. But I do feel that the price of that hush will eventually drop once this quote unquote drops to the market to pick up on the custom side.
Yeah.
I think we're in for a change either way it goes,
Mhm.
because while we're talking about like license and customs, I'm thinking about a subgenre of the customs, and that's those STL files, man. I'm seeing some
Mhm.
STL files that are like just knocking your socks off, like just dope, the concept, everything. And I know we're not quite there where that can take over, but I can see in a couple of years that like being a major, major avenue, because
Mhm.
some of the designs are out of this world.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. Yeah, because the STL groups are the only caveat of the STL group is that they're popping these things too quick. So when you look at the file, because I'm real big on the STL stuff. When you look at the file, it misses a lot. There's a lot of polygons missing. There's you know uh, decimations going on, and all these other technical words when you're sculpting these files. So you can't even if you print it, it wouldn't be good enough to mold it into production. I've looked into this stuff forever, and I've chat with STL guys, and it's like, oh, we have to put out three a month, so 3 characters a month. We got to sculpt fast, so you miss a lot of details and stuff.
Oh wow.
And with those two, they don't have an edition size too, right?
Mm-mm.
So
No,
like,
no,
would you
no,
would you consider that a collectible at that point because it doesn't
Mm.
have an edition size?
no. I would never, personally, I would never pick up a product that came from an STL. So if let's say hypothetically, I were to buy an STL and it's fire. Let's say Green Lantern, right? And it's fire and I decided to send it to the factory and have them yada yada. It's like why would I buy it just because it's polystone when I could just the STL is $15 or $20, and I just have someone print it for cheaper. I don't have to pay $1,000 or whatever it would cost. I just pay $200 for someone to print it and send it to someone to paint it.
Yeah.
Like we have those now. Is it a collectible? I don't think so. I think that's more of a hobby than a collectible, right? I feel that the collectible has to be through a certain process. It's like when you cook bread at home and when you buy bread when you buy it's processed. When you cooked it at home, you did it from scratch, right? So it's two different things.
Yeah.
But it kind of feels like they can overlap, because even in license, I've heard people say that about when we first started having the what's the material, the J&D, the
Welcome.
Silicone,
yeah, silicone, as opposed to the
resin,
polystone, where they're
yeah,
like, yeah,
polystone.
yeah, they're like, this isn't a statue, this is a doll. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
think I think it's some overlap and some intersection, but it's just
Right.
hard to see what that demarcation is. But I think as the STLs start to evolve, if they can get like a good process going, I think they'll give the license and the regular customs like a run for their money. I think it's
Yeah.
just a few years to evolve.
It's just too much work for an STL group to take that leap, that sculptor, because if you really think about it, these polystones that are customs take 3 to 6 to even 10 months to sculpt, right? Because you have an art director, you got a commissioner, and they want it perfect. An STL is just the guy with the skill, and he has to pull 3 products a month. So you got to look at it based off that window and the time it takes to perfect it. I don't see any STL group jumping that bridge because it's just more work and it takes longer for profit. If you do an STL right now at $15 and you sell 2,000 of them, why would you want to produce a piece? There's no need to.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And that's all profit on you. You don't have to share with anybody else. No factory, no printer, no nothing. You just throw the file out there and you're good to go.
It's
Yeah.
crazy because with technology, I work in the technology field, and it's like every every 3 days there's an update or there's an upgrade or there's like a new configuration to make it better what you currently have. With the STL stuff, I remember 2 years ago where I was like, I would never touch that. Like the print, the quality is just like, it's not there yet. But 2 years fast forward to now, it's just like I see one up in person. I was like, is that like polystone? Is that really like texture? Is that like a portrait? Is that polystone or is that resin or whatever? But you're like, you're starting to question it. I can't imagine 2 more years where we'll be at. Like the only thing I have with the 3D stuff is just the weight. Like I pick it up, it's just like, oh crap! Like I feel like it's like
paperweight.
yeah. Like, oh man.
But don't get confused with that, because License Group do the same thing. They do the same thing. They roll cast a lot of stuff to save on weight for shipping.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Queen Studios half scale Iron Man and half scale Iron Man. The head is completely hollow. Most of it's hollow. So it's like you pay $2,000, $2,500 for a half scale, and then you accidentally drop it and it's completely hollow. You're like, what the did I just buy? Right. So it goes both ways. And I don't know if collectors understand it. It really does go both ways.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the cost of a lot of license stuff too, it's been going up steadily over the last couple of years. Like you can see it going up, and I think that's a problem. Yeah, the statues have gotten better. I think over the years, like they look great, they look a lot better, they're more detailed. All that stuff's great, but are you really getting your money's worth at the end of the day? Especially now, if you can just buy it on the aftermarket, you wait a year and you can get it for half the cost.
Yeah.
What's the point of buying it at the full retail value at that point?
It's true. Yeah, and that goes back to what I'm saying. Like, even if it's a piece that you really want and you feel like it's out of your range, I would never get discouraged because you'll get it. You just have to wait or have a little bit of patience. You'll get it for probably half the price of what you're seeing it for.
I think that is kind of causing a lot of big issues with the collecting in the community now. Is you're seeing a push for more expensive statues, but then there's the ESs have they don't go, like most of them haven't gone down, so you're having all these expensive statues out there and people aren't buying them until they get into the aftermarket because they don't feel the need to, because they're cheaper on the aftermarket.
Well,
it's just weird.
That kind of goes back into like when I say like I never collect thinking about the aftermarket, because like you guys know I have a little ivy station. Like I love poison ivy. But I already know if I try and sell one of those ivies, it don't matter if I had a box, if she's in a smoke-free home, no matter what, it's 600 ivies on the market right now. I'm not going to get my money back for it. You know what I mean? Even if it's the Ivy Hush, I'm not getting my money back for it. So I just get it because I like the character or I like the statues, because I already know the minute I unbox it, I'm never going to see the value again. So I just eat it as a loss.
I feel like we did this to ourselves though. Like I would say 2-3 years ago, like we were asking for competition, right? So more companies started producing a lot more, and there was also what happened with COVID stuff. But then like they started producing a ton more, and then we all started going like we want more, even more. Fast track to now is just like now like there's too much out there. Even the companies that are trying to produce more stuff, they're like, we can't make this character because we just made them 2 years ago. So like we had to go with another character, but they're taking more risk, and now like there's even more companies opening up, and it's just
I think
interesting.
I got two things. Well, I got two questions really. To piggyback off what Steve just said, I said, as a matter of fact, Steve, I said this on CNP about 2 years ago.
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays at 8.
I blame Sideshow with the 9,000 ES.
Yeah.
I think Sideshow intentionally did that to affect the aftermarket, and that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to disrupt the aftermarket. They wanted to bring stuff down. They wanted to saturate it because they saw that people were. It was actually the other way around. People were paying more on the aftermarket for a piece than retail. Now, look at it. People are paying less for pieces now in the aftermarket than retail.
And that's how it was when I first started collecting. When I came into the hobby, everybody was paying more for statues. They weren't paying less. You know,
Matt, you froze again. Well, real fast, something that I'm seeing that's kind of funny, but it kind of isn't. That's affecting the prices on the aftermarket. Let's say we all have a Wendigo that we're going to sell, and we're all saying like 3,000 each, and then CMP has to get his car fixed, so he needs $500 to go for his brakes. He's like, "Eff it, I'm going to sell this Wendigo for $500." Now Jarhead, Matt, myself, William, we're all mad. Like, dude, we're trying to get 3K for this piece. CMP, how you gonna sell it for 500? And now whoever buys it for 500, everybody else is gonna be like, I'm not paying you guys $3,000 for that piece. CMP just sold it for 500. So the rest of us are gonna kind of be forced to either lower our prices or sit with the piece and don't sell it.
and that's another reason why it's hard to sell.
Yep, that does
in the
happen.
aftermarket.
Yep.
It happens a
Right.
lot.
So the other caveat or question that I had was, William had said that like he's waited since 2001 to buy a piece. Is there a point or time when, even though there's a piece that you want, I know this happened to me, I'll be the first to admit, there's a piece I really wanted, but I really don't want it now. I look at the piece and I'm like, it's an older piece. Yeah, I really wanted it at the time, but I'd rather take that money and put it somewhere else, or I'd rather do something else.
Yeah, it's happened to me before, but what's happened too is seller's remorse also. I sold a piece I really loved because I was just like, I'm not going that direction. Now I want to buy it again, but I want to buy it for cheaper than I sold it, and I sold it for cheap. So that's a caveat in itself, right? It's like I already sold it super cheap. There's no way I'm gonna buy it again super cheap. But it has happened, and I think it's because of my experience now. And when I visually look at something, I see it differently than I did when I first started as a noob collecting, right? So I did a lot of impulse buys, and I think we all have, right? We see it, it looks cool, put down the PO, pick it up, and you're like, it's cool, but it's not as great as I remember it initially when I PO, because it takes a year or so. For a good example, Sumi Art, right? I don't know if you guys do anime, but Sumi Art, Saitama. Wanted that piece forever. It took 3 years for me to get it. I had it for a couple months. Yeah, One Punch Man. I had it for a couple months. I sold it. Somebody wanted it. I got a little bit less than what I paid for it, but wasn't too bad. But it does happen. So with the pieces that I have been picked up recently, that's been very nostalgic for me. I still love them, even since the first day I saw them. That XM Red Hulk to me is the best one so far. I love that piece, and I'll be doing a live unboxing this Saturday of that piece. But yeah, it's come a time where I look at some stuff and like, yeah, I did like it, but I'm cool. I won't pick it up.
I think sometimes it's like Matt, like the example that I gave with the Cobra Commander and the Serpentor. I still love those statues, but they don't fit in the direction of my collection anymore. Like when I was getting Skeletor, Mumra, I was like, I can have all my favorite villains from that era of my life and just have them right here on the shelf. Then I went a completely different direction. So now I still love the statues. I still think they're amazing, but they don't fit in my collection. So it's like, well, now that the people want to sell it for reasonable prices, I can't do anything with the statues.
Right.
How often? That just brings up another question. Like how you say he doesn't go in your direction. I mean, you change direction? How often does a collector change direction, or do you guys do that? Or
I've changed like 3 or 4 times.
Really?
Yeah, no, and it does happen. I had the Witchblade, XM Witchblade, right? And I'm like, they're not coming out with any other top cow pieces. I mean, it's okay piece once I saw in person. I was like, then I sold it. Now I got Aphrodite, I got, Angelus, and there's a couple other pieces coming from that line. It's like, okay, now I picked up the top cow line. So now I'm, so it just changes. Like, to me, it wasn't.
Is it like a line? Are you trying to achieve a line or something? Like for me, my collection spans from, I've got Conan, Underworld, Wolverine, Silver Surfer, Predator, Vader, Star Wars. I mean, it's kind of, for me, I like for me, I look at the art of the piece, right? If it's a dope piece, I like the piece. It says something that's unique for that character or that, whatever that is that meant something to me, and I get it. Like I don't have a direction. I never had a direction. I just, I collect what I think is cool and dope.
So
I think for me, go ahead.
when I first started collecting, you know, it was one of those things where, and I think a lot of people do this when they first start collecting. Oh, I need this, that, and just you shotgun everything, right? You
Mhm.
buy everything that you love, everything that you see that you really like out there, and you're not necessarily in a direction, right? But you're just, oh, I love that statue, I gotta have it, I gotta have that one too. But I think once you get a little more seasoned, you kind of one you only start picking out statues that you love because of space, right, and cost value and all that stuff. Because not everybody you don't have you know, Castle Grayskull like Piggy does. So not everybody can have, you know, thousands of statues like he's probably gonna have one day.
Oh God.
So like not everybody could do that. So you got to start getting more selective. Like lately, I've been looking at people's collections that only collect like one line, and I see that the, you know, that direction they have for that room or whatever, and I love it because it's like all X-Men or
Like Ant, Ant with the
all, you
X-Men.
know,
Mhm.
anime, Dragon Ball Z, or you know, just particular lines of what they love, and it's more cohesive to me instead of having a Batman and a Wolverine and just randomness. And I get it, people love lots of different things, but for me, when I see a collection that is streamlined, you
Mhm.
know, I enjoy that more because it's more cohesive to me. You know, that's why, and I've talked to Steve about this before a long time ago when I was trying to collect X Men, and I was like, I'm going to collect X Men, I'm going to do this, and that. But there's too many X Men out there. But that's
Mhm.
what I love. So that's all I'm going to collect now is X Men pieces, and maybe some Star Wars stuff here and there. So that's, and I want to streamline. That's, and I don't
Yeah.
have to worry about, oh, that Spider Man over there is really dope. I got to have it for, you know, $5,000. You know, so I don't know. To me, that I like a cohesive collection.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
You got,
Gabriel.
who was it? Gabriel said there's always
Yeah,
that main focus. I don't have a main focus.
yeah.
Like there's a
And there's
piece will
nothing
come
wrong. And
out
there's
and
nothing
it's
wrong with that.
no. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. Oh, you mean what I do? Me? What I
Yeah, there's
do?
nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no.
But
I just think for me, again, this is for me. I guess maybe I'm because I'm selective, right, on what I want to get, and I think you guys said memorabilia is something like something that's signed by something, but my collection is pretty much a representation of the things that I love that I've loved throughout my life. You know what I mean?
So
yeah, do
Um,
you feel?
Matt, actually, that is your direction. Like for example, I think it's subjective to the collector, and
oh
that's
man, here we
actually
go
a
with that 2025 cycle.
no,
Go
no,
ahead.
no. Repeat this. That's actually you
Identify with
actually
stuff.
no, no, no. You actually do have a direction, and your direction is what speaks to you or what gives you your member berries. You know what I mean? Like if it's a Wolverine here, a Silver Surfer there, a Batman, a Conan, that's your direction because you like
Yeah.
the artwork. I think kind of like Alan Kiefer's Alan Kiefer's
Kiefer?
the same, yeah,
Yeah.
Alan Kiefer's the
Hmm.
same way. It's like, hey, this is what catches my eye, so that's the direction he goes in.
But
Some people just like the female characters. That's their direction. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Some people like to tell a story
absolutely.
their pieces. So I think you have a direction, and
But
that is your
but
direction.
Yeah, but
but
that for me, it's like that's never changed. It's I've never changed it. Like I've never switched
I'll
to
give you
another
an
direction.
example.
I've
Like
never
you
switched to
asked
another
me about the
focus.
Cobra Commander. I have OCD, so there's no way I can have like 25
oh, he froze.
Masters of the
There you go.
Universe characters,
I thought it was
and
me.
then Cobra.
No, it's him.
Okay, and then Cobra. Yeah, Cobra. Yeah, Cobra Commander's like, am I frozen still?
You guys are on the same
Am I
internet. That's
frozen?
why. That's
You're coming back. You're coming back. You're coming back.
What about now?
You're good. You're
All
good.
right.
You're good.
So there's no way I can have like 1,000 He-Man characters, and then right in the middle there's Cobra Commander or there's a Superman, unless I have something tying them together, like a big artwork with the He-Man versus Superman comic book to like tie it into the collection. It would just bother me to arbitrarily have a red Sonya right there in the middle of my Batman collection, no matter how beautiful the art is, unless I have some type of art or
Well,
crossover to tie it together. But there's
well, I
nothing
don't
wrong
have
with
it.
people that do.
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like it's more control, and like for me, it helps me control my collection if I pick a line. If because I started off like you, Matt, I was getting like stuff left and right because I thought it was just awesome. Okay, I want this. Greenleaf Studio was the first piece I got. Greenleaf Studios, Android 18, most beautiful piece of Android 18 I've ever seen. And then I went to Punisher Sideshow, and then I went to this and I was like all over the place. And then I said, you know what? I'm just going to start with this line, and I'm going to focus, collecting this. So it made me spend less and have less, but I was a little more focused in my collection. And Alan Kiefer has switched his collection, so he's not like, what I'm saying, he has switched his collection in the past. So, but he has like one of the most epic collections in the freaking world.
It's all right.
Oh, come on, CMP. Come
I'm
on,
kidding.
man.
That's our thing. It's
That's
okay.
his,
You'll
that's
get
his
it.
catchphrase.
Yeah.
He's okay. He's okay. He's mediocre at best.
What do you hear him say?
For
What do
me,
you hear him
like
say?
if
Trash.
I don't have a
Right.
direction, I think like a lot of people are saying in the comments, if I don't have a direction, I'm just going to spend money to spend money.
Right.
Like this is
More
an
control.
addicting hobby. Like I don't have your willpower, Matt. Like I will
Yeah, I was
buy.
about to say, both of you guys said when I first started, man, I've been doing this for over 30 years. So it's not like, I'm a newbie at this, but
Yeah.
and like
Well,
you said though,
I
I guess for me it's a difference of, let's run down and hit one of the bulls, or let's walk down and hit them all. You know what I mean?
I mean, I've been
It's-
collecting for 20 years. I just started the quarter scale statues in 2020 or 2018, 2019, I started collecting. But I've been collecting in general for over 20 years. It's
Yeah.
just, your collections change with time. I know a lot of guys that like pop figures and then they stop. They're like, okay, I can't do no more pop figures. I got, a whole storage full of them. So I'm going to do something else. I used to collect comic cards. I still have a bunch of comic books. So it's just, where your direction goes and where your passions are and what you can afford now than what you could back then. So I feel with the line, I have more control, that's it. Because if I go balls to the wall, I'm going to have anime all over the place. I'm going to have every 1/6 scale stuff because they do the best portraits. I'll go nuts. And then my wife probably divorced me.
It's
But,
going to be
I have
Flankster's
all this
collection.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly like Flankster's collection.
Hey,
So-
let's answer Cab's question because it kind of has to do with the topic. What would you guys say is the piece you have lost the most value and wish you didn't? So, what piece in your collection you think has lost the most value and you wish it didn't?
I got the Aquaman from Prime One. I
Yeah.
think I bought that. Like I got it in the aftermarket. I think I bought it for like $900, but I saw on Prime One for like that sale like $400, $500. I was like, man. I mean, it's not the craziest decline, but still, just seeing that like out of retail, that's insane. To me, that's insane. That's crazy.
How much is dropped?
Yeah, and it's a quality piece, I think, but it's just I still like it, even if they're selling at that price. I still like it a lot. But that blows me away. Everything else is legit. Okay.
Man, I don't know.
That's a good question, man. That's a good question.
I'm literally looking around. I'm like,
Is that a
none of my
question for
pieces
license
really-
or custom?
Anything.
Anything? Oh shoot!
maybe the OG. The only piece that I know that I've got that's probably come down in value is probably the OG Sideshow Batman.
No, I feel like it was $300. You could get like $500 for that, or you could get retail back for that too.
Oh, okay. So
Oh,
No one's gonna admit it, huh?
maybe Sideshow Predator Elder. I've got a Predator Elder. It's 5th scale.
maybe I'm just being biased because I think I bought it for like $800 at the time, and I've been seeing it for 400, 350. Is the Tweeterhead Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really love that piece. I still have it, and it just sucks that the value went down on it, and it's a great freaking piece. So I think for me would be that one. Aiden said V1 Silver Surfer.
So that one has its ebbs and waves
It,
too.
it
like,
does. It does.
It goes up and it goes down. So that one's kind of hard to.
Mhm.
And it doesn't go down that much, though. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
I mean, it's gone down.
It
quite
still
a bit
holds
than
a
it
little.
Used to be. I seen one when I first started collecting, sold for 10 grand local to me. So
Yeah, but that's because that's the one. Wasn't there a recast that was done of it?
yeah.
That's probably the reason why. And
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know the difference.
So Edwin said the XM Samurai line, and what's crazy, I wanted that Samurai Ivy, and she's another one that was sky high on the
Mhm.
aftermarket. I was like, "There's no way." So my piece that lost the most value, if you guys remember when PCS was Pop Culture Shock,
Mhm.
I was gonna start going down the Street Fighter line, and I got the Blanca,
Oh yeah.
and I still have it, I still love it, but I don't think I could give that thing away. I would probably have to pay somebody to take it and hand deliver it.
I'll take it.
It's yours, man. It's yours.
I'll take it. Hey, if there's one thing that I I grew up very very minority. I grew up in Brazil. We weren't
Oh,
very wealthy. I grew up in a bad side of the neighborhood and stuff. So when people say, "Hey, I'll give you something," I'll take it. I
you'll
don't care
take
what
it.
it is. It's free. If the food's free, I eat it. I don't care. It's just the habit. So if you got a Blanca you want to throw away my way, I'll take it.
Oh, he's Brazilian
I'm
too.
telling you.
So there you go.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Brazil
yeah.
too.
Not
I,
my favorite character just because he's Brazilian, but
I had a quick thing. Like, remember how you guys were talking about like focus and like lines and stuff like that? I don't know if I figured it out. I was talking to this with another collector. I feel like what we miss is you could tell somebody have focus. When you start collecting, like only collect this. You could tell them a billion things, but something always catches their eye. They're like,
Mhm.
oh man, the X-Men, I gotta start collecting that. Oh man, Batman, I could do both. Oh, 1/3, I could do that too. It's like you gotta, you could tell them everything you want. They won't always follow you, just like kids. But like you have to let that collector go through it in order to learn
Mhm.
it for themselves. Because like I'm telling you, man, I've been told a billion things. Like just collect, just 1/3, and I was like, I have a bunch of quarters over here. It just,
Mhm.
but now I feel like it's calmed down a ton to where like
Yeah.
I'm glad that it did, because if I just went like with Batman and X-Men, I'd barely be fitting in this room, like up to the wall or something, just with the collection behind me.
But that's a good thing.
But that took time. Like that didn't like that was up
Mhm.
to me too. If I
Yeah.
left it up to like my addiction, I would just it would have been
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, what time these new collectors would learn that when you got 35 POs and you haven't made any more money in your job, you're gonna be like, Jesus,
Hmm.
I shouldn't have done like Matt and just picked every piece I saw and I liked.
It's real easy to get that way too. Like
It
before
Yes.
you
is.
know it,
It is.
like you turn around, you got 15 statues on pre-order, and like
And all the
it's real
POs
easy.
hit right now before Christmas. Oh,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
like, hey,
Yep.
make your payments. It's like, oh crap, I forgot I got
It
all these
was it
payments
was
to
like
do.
that though, right? 2-3 years ago, everyone
Mhm.
everyone had minimum 10
Mhm.
pre-orders, and everyone was like, "What do you got? What do you got? What do you got?" And I was
I
like,
knew somebody that
"What?"
had 70
Whoa.
POs. Yeah.
Piggy.
He showed me. He
No,
showed me
no.
a picture. He showed me a picture of all his POs. I said, "Dude, you lying?" He's like, "I'm serious. I got 7." I was like, "You need to start liquidating, bro, because I know
Yeah.
you don't make that
That
much."
sounds like Dion.
Is that why he logged out? He's like, "I
Yeah.
don't like this
Probably.
conversation
Couldn't take it.
anymore. This
What
conversation
sucks is when they
sucks."
all ship at the same time, and then you're
Yeah.
eating
Mhm.
ramen noodles for 2.5 years. Yep.
And then what do you do with
That's
the
that's
boxes,
that's
right?
another thing is people don't realize around this time of year is when like because they try to ship stuff out before the Chinese New Year, so
Mm-hmm.
they either it all comes before or after the Chinese New Year.
Yep.
So
Yep.
once you've been collecting for a little while, you realize that especially in the custom world, you see a lot more.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Now, the question I had for you guys that I've been noticing, and this goes back to the value of license and customs and the right and wrongs and things like that. I hear a lot in the community that a lot of people don't love the custom pieces, don't want to buy it because of the risk of the commissioner backing out, taking all the money, this, and that. But we have some license that are doing the same thing right now. That's up in the air. You don't know where your NRD's at. You can't do a chargeback. It's been too long. And this is a licensed company, right? A few of them. And same thing with the shipping issue. It's like, well, customs take too long. Well, I waited 3 years for a license. So where's the difference? So where does it lie in terms of the moral? Do you just kind of go with your gut, or do you just stick with license or custom? Because I don't think the argument's fair when people bash the custom community in terms of those particular.
And this is kind of why I made this group anyways was because of that because you
Mhm.
see a lot of that when I first started collecting it was all customs are way more expensive than licensed pieces you'll never get your statue you're waiting too long um all these different things the quality isn't there and that's not what I was seeing. I was
Mhm.
seeing the total opposite of that.
Mhm.
So I kind of wanted to start this group in order to not change people's minds, but see the information out there and compare
Mhm.
and contrast between the license stuff. Because you can get nowadays, especially at how expensive licenses have got, you can get way better. There's a picture later I'll show you guys. There's that gigantic Iron Man statue that's coming out, the
The
Ironmonger
Monger. Yep.
for a
Yeah, the
thousand.
Ironmonger.
Yeah, for $1,000 you can get that statue. That's a custom
Mhm.
statue, and it
Mhm.
has every detail of a licensed piece.
Mhm.
When you see the difference of that, and not only is the customs retaining value too on top of all that, shipping is cheaper. At least that's my experience with it. Shipping is usually cheaper on customs. So like, why wouldn't you go custom? And I don't understand like people they're scared of it. I think it's like, oh, I'm never gonna ever see my piece and then but again, this is what this channel is for, is if you want a statue and it's out there, all of us have some kind of history with custom pieces. We can direct you to the right people that aren't gonna run away with your money. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, you gotta also mention that it did happen before, right? Like some custom groups
Oh yeah.
definitely
yeah, for
like
sure.
dropped out. But like times have changed too. Where like, the competition I was talking about earlier, it just started producing a lot more customs. You know, a lot more custom
Well,
groups, a lot more information, a lot more groups, a lot more YouTubes, a lot more of everything, right? And then like with the license stuff, like I would never have guessed out of all the companies to have dropped like they dropped XM
mhm.
Studios. It's
Mhm.
just like no one would have predicted this, to be
Well,
honest.
most of the custom groups I know that dropped off and disappeared or had issues was because the people, the consumer that PO the product ghosted. So if you have 30 people put in an NRD and only half pay the second, and then that same half pay the third, well, where's the other half? Why are they gone? So you send all this money to factories and who knows what. So then it's like, well, I can't produce your piece and I can't give you the money back because it went straight to the factory, because that's usually how it works. So it's up to the consumer, us, that PO, to make sure that if we're going to commit to it, follow through with the commitment. And I get things happen. Like if I had 50 POs and I'm short, I'm going to sell my pieces. I just, because I committed to these other POs, and that's my responsibility as purchasing it. Now maybe with the license group, you might be able to get it back if it's you know if it's soon enough, but after 6 months, PayPal's not going to give you your money. So, are these people that PO from XM going to get their NR whatever their deposits back? Probably not. It's not going to happen. And now here you go. So it gives license companies now a bad name, because unless XM decides to sell all their assets and pay everybody back, then they're going to have a clean name. But if they don't do that, you can forget about it. And I made this question on my podcast last time: is XM value of their statues going to go up or down? Right now it's down because I've been picking them up for cheap. But when they officially close, if they do, will the values go up? Will it be like a memorabilia, like that we were talking about? Will it eventually go up because it's like they're not making it anymore? So get what you can
back
get.
back in my day when statue collecting was real, like XM was the big thing. I got to collect the
Mm-hmm.
Hulkbuster and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
So that's what I'm saying. We put it on ourselves to kind of screw up the custom commissioners if we don't pay them the timely payments, because essentially, let's say Jarhead decides to do one, he's doing it for us. Like everybody wants this Magneto, ripping the head off of something, right? Well, if all 30 of us want it, then we have to commit to it. You can't just because of hard times or whatever, figure it out, right? It's just like your light bill. If you don't pay your light bill, you better light them 12 candles you got laying around.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So it's a commitment, it's a responsibility on our part as collectors.
Yep.
Like
all right.
I was in Popeyes the other day.
Anything else you all want to talk about pertaining to that topic and all the other stuff we've been talking about? If
No,
not, then we'll just
I feel
go ahead.
kind of bad because like all these like crazy prices that we're seeing, like I feel bad for the collectors because they're taking a huge loss, man. Like I feel like, but then also it's just like, how long is this going to go for, and how long could this sustain? Like the whole hobby. Like, are people going to start completely backing out because they're seeing, hey man, my piece is going down on their value. I might as well just sell now. And like, is it going to be like 2 years from now? Are we going to be like, yeah, like we should get out now. We should have gone out like 2 years ago, but
I don't know. Steve. I think that's going to be determined by companies with low ES. I think the statue community, and I think the high prices will still be there with low ES. I mean, that's what's going to drive. I think low ES is what's going to drive this market. I think low ES is what's going to drive the statue collecting game, if you want to call it that. You look at what's the Batman? What's the company around with the Batman just came out?
Supercraft
Supercraft.
Yeah.
Right. What's the ES? 200.
201.
Yeah, everybody was saying it's a high price, but I think Jarhead. I think you said it included shipping, right?
Yeah, include shipping.
Yeah.
So it includes shipping. So no, that's a good price piece for what it looks like. It looks like good quality. It looks like it's priced accordingly.
I think us as collectors, though, we like to complain about things anyways. So like,
That's true. I mean,
we're never satisfied with things. So it could be the best statue in the world, and still people will complain about it. So you know,
but look at
just,
the ES. The ES was 200 and it sold out.
yeah, I knew it was gonna sell out. Everybody was complaining about the price, but I even said I was like, it's gonna sell out no matter what.
Right.
It's that FOMO. Everybody's
Yeah.
not, that was the best statue ever, Batman statue ever. So
Yeah, but if they had like an ES of 4,000, it's not selling out.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Even
not right
2,500.
away, for sure.
No.
Yeah.
So Jose said like the problem with customs is that they produce new pieces when they still have previous statues pending and using payments to start new pieces. To that, I say I feel the same way about Tweeterhead, and they're a licensed company. I'm disgusted with them right now, and they're constantly releasing variants and all types of upgrades and everything else when we're still waiting on the previous statues from like 5 batches ago. So I think that can kind of be said about licensed companies. And
look at PCS. PCS keeps coming out with
Yeah.
new stuff,
Mhm.
and I like all their stuff that they're coming out with, but they keep producing stuff constantly, and they're
The-
not giving us the
Yeah,
stuff.
that's
The-
the
the
tricky
only-
thing.
The only gripe I have with PCS is, and I've said it before, it doesn't matter what company it is, you're going to have good batches and bad batches. You're going to have a product that amazes people and it's great. But as of lately, their QC has been just the worst. Like someone just posted, they finally got their RoboCop and the leg was snapped off. And I've seen a few pieces up front, 2 exact pieces with 2 different QC issues. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I think they really need to focus on the factory and the QC, and I think they'll do better. Their paint has been doing a lot better than it was in the past. And I know Ant's been trying his hardest, but sometimes it's like that guy that has 70 POs, right? You're putting out too much, and you're trying to cover the licensing fees, and that's why the prices of the license statues are going up. It's because the licensing fees go up. So if that goes up, then our cost goes up, right? It always comes back to the consumer. So that's the main reason. And when you're dealing with customs, you don't have to deal with all that stuff. And if they're a commissioner that don't care about profit much, you're going to get a really cheap piece.
Yeah.
So it's there's a I think what it is too is a lot of collectors don't understand the other side of the coin. It's like I was in the union for 17 years. Now I'm salaried. So I see the other side of the coin. And I think collectors need to learn that too. Yeah, you're a collector, but try to understand the other side of the coin and what it takes to produce our product, right? I'm in distribution. So I know what it costs to produce product. No, obviously not statues, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think once you have a better understanding of that, you're not going to be as pissed. But at the same time, it's like, well, if you're a CEO, get your shit together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
why is it going to take? Yeah, why is it going to take 5 years for
I've talked to a lot of commissioners lately too, and I've seen trends out there where in the custom world, anyways, and I'm sure it happens in license for sure. But they've been saying that people will commit to buying the statue and then turn around later, and not pay or ghost the commissioner, and he's still on the hook for let's say 30 statues, and only 15 people pay for them. So like that causes problems, and like you said, people don't realize the other side of things. They and I understand things come up and whatnot, but to me, it's like when you say you're in on a custom piece, make sure that you really want that piece and that you're going to get it, because you're really causing everybody else problems too on top of
else. Yeah.
The commissioner, because the commissioner's paying to make that statue happen.
Right.
So like you said, people don't realize the other side of it.
Yeah, it's not fair for the other 15 guys that committed, right? It's like
Yeah.
I said, look, if you can't pay for your piece, man, there's always OF. Do a couple months of OF. You know what I'm saying? Get that cash and pay your second, third payments.
Just throw
It's
some
like,
throw some feet pics on there, make all your PO money in one day.
yeah, and that's the sad part. I talk to commissioners all the time, like different ones.
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Oh, y'all stupid.
Matt, you just showed your age, man.
And
I just got called Unc the other day, man. So whatever.
It's just it's a sad state, and I keep telling people, it's like, even on my channel, it's like, dude, don't commit to a piece if you're not going to pay. Like, we're all grown adults here. We're all over 40. It's like, pay your bills. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to jump in this game, which is an expensive game, you're going to commit, pay your bills. That's all. Don't screw everybody else that paid and they can't get their piece because you.
Or better yet, be a man and tell the commissioner, hey man, I can't make this payment, or can we split it up in the
Something else.
payments
Yeah.
instead of ghosting them?
Can I sell my PO? Can I
Yeah.
give you payments? Yep.
You hear that a lot out of the commissioners now, is people don't, they say, okay man, the second payments are due, and they won't reply back. It's like, man, like, that's messed up.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, that's the hard part. It's like,
I think that's why a lot of people they can get away with that with license pieces, right? They just
yeah, they're gone. There's no one after them. But it's like, communication is key. So if you need to talk to a commissioner, be like, hey, it's the holidays, it's Christmas. Can I cover you like the next, the mid-July? Let me get a couple payments in. Let me cover. So, and 100% of the time, they're probably going to say, yeah, no problem, man. I got you. Because you're going to have more than half the guys probably pay it up front anyways. Like, they won't have that problem.
Keep the wheels rolling.
And just keep the wheel rolling. Let's keep the production going, and we'll cover you on the back end, and it's all good. But if you just completely disappear, that screws everybody, not just commissioner, but like everybody else that invested. So it's a big Kickstarter, man. It's a big investment anytime you jump into it. Luckily, I haven't gotten into a situation where I picked up a custom and they disappeared, like the group disappeared. Right? I haven't had the negative effect of something like that, but I know a lot of people that have, and they're like very doubtful in the custom community.
Right.
Yeah, and to be clear, when I was saying that's disgusting, I meant like, because everyone falls on hard times. I mean, the lack of character and following up. Don't hide. Just open your mouth and say, hey, I hit some hard times. I had a rough patch. I had to, whatever things happen, just communicate it so you're not holding everyone up. People shouldn't have to hunt you down when you've already committed to something. And that's with anything.
Here's a question for both of you guys. Do you guys feel like that if a custom group comes out with a piece to continue that momentum, because someone just posted like, yeah, at first you put the PO and you're super excited, but then he disappears and dies down, and then you like forget about the piece, and eventually you're like, oh, I don't even care for that piece anymore. Like, why am I going to pay it? Do you feel that the commissioner should continue engaging with the group? Hey, this piece, this is what's happening with that, because I'm in business. I don't want to lose my customer's sale, so I got to keep enticing them and keep that momentum going. And I feel like a lot of commissioners lack that. Like, they'll put out a piece and I have to message. I'll be like, hey, bro, it's like over a year, man. You got a prototype or something? Like, what's up with this piece? Oh, I use that money for another piece. It's like,
yeah, well, that's part of it. You don't want to see, like Jarhead said earlier, it's like sometimes they get in over the head with too many pieces, and then you're using Peter to pay Paul. Mm-hmm. And that's what gets you caught down a rabbit hole. And that's the tricky part. So, yeah, I don't know.
I think the same way that we're saying, if you can't make your payment on a PO, you need to engage the commissioner. The same way, if the commissioner, if you're the one sponsoring this piece, if something's happening where it's going to be a delay, 6 months, whatever the case is, engage your audience,
right.
or engage your investors. It's both ways. Just communicate. Yeah, yep. There's a piece I've been waiting for forever, but one thing I have to give the commissioner is that he like checks in like once even if it's every 6 weeks. Hey, here's where we are. Here are the latest pieces from the factory. Where it's still frustrating that it's way beyond the time that you were expecting it, but at least you're being kept up to date and you don't feel like you're just out there floating.
It's an etiquette,
Yeah.
Your stuff that that like I said before, you're a grown ass man. Like communication is key when you're dealing with like the custom world because you want the communication from them telling you, hey, this statue is coming, this date and that, hey, this we have these kind of issues, but you want that communication from them. So you should in return be able to communicate with them back. You know, say, hey man, this month's kind of tight. Is there a way I can pay you half now and half later, or whatever the case may be? You know, and 9 times out of 10, the commissioner's gonna be cool about it. He's like, "Oh yeah, don't worry about it, man. I've run into it. I've had like 4 or 5 statues come in at one time for a PO, or I've had it where I've had to make the second or third payment, and they've all come in at the same time. It's like, man, like obviously I can't pay $1,500, and it's really random sometimes. It's like like a group I paid 6 months ago for the pre-order of this statue, and then another one I just paid the second payment already due. You know, it's really random. There's no rhyme or reason to it sometimes. So, and I think a lot of the commissioners understand that. So just talk to the commissioner and don't ghost him.
Mhm.
Edwin,
Um, yeah.
let's go ahead, Piggy.
No, I was gonna. I think Edwin's question where he said, "Should you be thrown out of a custom group if you sell your POs or pay the payments?" I think you shouldn't be thrown out if you sell your POs, but I think that goes back to the communication. You should be communicating with the commissioner, and I think it also depends on the rules of engagement. When you join the group, when you join the group, some of them say, "Do not sell your PO," or some of them say, "Reach out to me." Because maybe it's a thing where they're trying to stay under the radar and they don't want they don't want their stuff in these different buy sell trade groups, and now they're on people's radars and they're getting in trouble and getting ready to be fined or shut down. So I think it just if like the etiquette, as Jair has said, of following the rules. Generally, before you even join, they'll say, "Do you agree to this? I will not discuss it outside of this group. I won't add anyone or share any pictures."
Yeah.
And if they're saying don't do it, don't do it. But I think 9 times out of 10, if you contact them and you say, "Hey, I need to sell my PO," they'll kind of instruct you on how to go or work it out with you.
Right. I agree. I agree with you, Biggie, because a lot of custom groups have a waiting list. You know what I'm saying? So you contact the commissioner will go through the waiting list, be like, "Hey, this just came up available. Do you want to take it?" And then there's, like I said, I'm a business guy, so I'm a firm believer in contracts. So what you do is you get those two to sign a contract that one's transferring over to another one, and now it's a responsibility of that other person. Even though technically when you join that group, that is a contract because there's a rule of engagement and it says no PO transfers, no none of this, no flipping. I've seen that a lot, right? You PO something, now you're trying to flip it for $300-$400 more. And I've seen commissioners not like that at all either, and they will kick that person out of the group. So it's those sort of things. It's like if you're doing on a DL and you don't know and everything's getting paid, and once shipping comes, you say ship it to this person. Well, it's already too late, but at least the piece is paid for. And I think that's the biggest concern of any commissioners. We have to pay the factories have to get paid. So as long as it's completely paid and shipping's paid, you do whatever you want with it. You want to ship it somewhere else, ship it somewhere else.
You just got to figure out what the rules are. It's not like a license piece where anything goes. Customs have etiquette. It's like a group out there that when you get into the group, there's rules and all that stuff. So it's a little bit different than a regular license piece. So you got to realize that when you get into the group.
Yeah, and read the contracts in the group. Okay, you make sure you read that PO. I know I've seen a lot of people PO stuff and not read it. Some groups say you will get none of your payments if you drop out. Like if you do something that breaks the rules and you made up to a third payment and you ghost, you're not going to get anything back. It's there, right? And it's there for a reason. So for me, I think all commissioners need to make the rules so strict that you have to really think about before you put your money down, because if you put your money down, no matter how much you put, you're going to lose all the time. So that's how the people that commit protect themselves, and the commissioners protect themselves, that the rules are so strict. And that's what I believe. I think the rules need to be extremely strict so you can have legit buyers, right? Like Matt, since he buys everything, you just, when he's in there, he's going to buy it. It don't matter. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about it. I think that's the best way to go.
Yeah.
Random Korean asked a question. When the final bill of pre-order comes in, what's the average time frame to pay it? I mean, I wouldn't make the guy wait, a long time, but a couple weeks, maybe a few weeks, a
I
month,
think it
maybe at
depends on
most.
it depends on the factory and if the factory wants it now, right?
I
If the
think
think about it, if the factory has a product done and you're taking up all their warehouse space, they want the final bill paid so they can ship that out of there. They don't want to take up any more room in their factories.
Yeah,
I think you
So
kind of get ready when they, like, say for example, if you drop a custom right now, they'll generally tell you first payment is due now, second payment is due in July, third payment
mhm,
is due next November before it ships. So, and I know we're all different. I just automatically program in my mind that's when it's due. So I'm gonna
yeah,
have the money set to the side for July and then for November.
right.
yeah, and just like you were saying, William, too, is like people don't realize that side of it either. Is those statues are sitting in a warehouse
Hmm.
taking up space, and right now, again, not a lot of people realize this, but a lot of those places were shut down recently,
Yeah,
for producing customs or whatever. So you have less places that produce these statues. So now you have more statues in an area that people are trying to get out. So if the faster you pay for it, the better. Obviously, talk to the commissioner and say, hey, if there's a week or two that you can wait. Like normally, I would tell the commissioner for me, especially because a lot of times it doesn't drop right on payday. I'll be like, okay,
yeah,
well, I will pay that my next payday or the following payday. I will give them a date and let them know, hey, I'm gonna pay this by this date. Is that all right? And 9 times out of 10, they'll tell me it's all right. So that's my advice for that.
yeah, yeah. If you can, just pay it as quick as you can, especially if it's the final payment, because that's where it counts the most, right? You pay the final payment, you get the factory happy, and then it'll take some time for them to do their math on shipping, and then you'll get your shipping bill. Sometimes it's the final payment and shipping, and sometimes it's not. I prefer it not because that's just a big hefty bill depending on the piece you're going to get. So if your final payment's $500 and you got 3 boxes that got to ship, well, guess what? Now you got to fish out maybe 1,200 out of your pocket. So it's better to kind of split those up, little by little. So yeah, man, I would, for me personally, when a commissioner hits me up, which one of them recently did, he's like, hey, it's due. It took me a couple of days because I've been traveling and working. Paid it right off the bat. Why wait? Just get it out of the way.
True.
Just kids won't have Christmas gifts, but that's my fault. That's my fault.
They can look at the
Um,
statues, man.
Real fast, we'll get right into pictures. Unless anybody else has anything to go over, we want to talk about, but we'll get into pictures.
Get to the picks. Is it PO? Picks only?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now
Anything
you're
else?
with it. Oh, Incredibles. Yep.
Yeah. I thought this was pretty cool, actually.
Hmm.
I know John's really into it's not Disney. What was this company?
Pixar.
That does,
Is it
It's a
yeah, I
Pixar?
know
Pixar,
I
yeah.
I know John's really into Pixar stuff, so I thought this was cool.
Yep.
I
I
know
think
it's
its
something he would get.
proportions are way off, but it's a cool piece. I like it.
There's a lot more detail in this than there was in the cartoon, I think.
Well, that's why I meant the proportions because he kind of has a dad cut like I do, so he's looking good right there with the. I like the baby. I think the baby's cool.
Yeah. The baby's removable too.
I kind of like it better with the baby on the shoulder.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
Jack. All right.
Jack
Yeah.
Jack, yeah, love Jack Jack.
Yeah.
I think in these pictures he more looks like me. So
Oh wow.
um,
Without the beard,
yeah, without the beard. I something like this is cool to me when they step outside the box and do different things.
this gives me a feel of if you guys ever played. I bought it for my kids, and I collect almost all of them. But the Disney Infinity little characters you put, and you can play that character on the game.
Oh
Has a
yeah.
little pad on. That's what that looks like with the little base. That's what
Yeah.
that reminds. But more detail, obviously. Is this the only color? Was that the variant? Is there a variant, or is it just the red?
This is the
Because he
only
has
thing
a
I
blue.
saw.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
because
this is
he
the
has
only
a
thing I
blue
saw.
suit too, the blue and black suit.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I get a Frozo to go with that.
Oh yeah, that'd be tight. That'd be tight. Frozo's cool.
This is making the rounds. I don't know what y'all think about this. I don't like this head sculpt, but the masked head sculpt I actually really dig. I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but it's been
I've
in a
seen
lot
it.
of different groups.
I've seen it.
Nelson said the baby was still on the shoulder. It was just invisible.
That's a good one. Yeah, the mask and armor's tight. I don't like it without it.
Yeah, I wouldn't use it without it, but
Yeah.
I'm a big Wolverine fan, so like this is like up my alley. So I'm thinking about getting this piece. So, but I like this one the
I like
most.
that one. Oh yeah,
That's
that's
tight. Yeah,
dope.
that's tight.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. Old man Logan, that looks
Yeah.
good.
I would
That's tight.
at first I was like, it's dope, but not for me. But like this portrait
That's
makes
dope,
a
yeah.
difference. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really into like that Japanese like samurai like stuff. So like
Yeah.
this is really up my alley.
Maybe
Yeah,
maybe
see-
they'll just sell Piggy the head. No, you don't have to have the body. Just take just take the head.
You see, this
That's
is a work
cool.
of art for me, man. This is what statue collecting is about for me. You know what I mean? You look at this, look at the detail. What it's Wolverine, right? But it's not a big Bowen. You know, shout out to Bowen. Don't get me wrong. Shout out to Bowen. I love Bowen. You guys know I love Bowen.
Yeah.
But when you're collecting fine art, you know, to me, this is fine art. This is collecting.
Kind of
And
like
look
the
at
Shogun
detail of this.
Batman, right?
Yeah, I mean, look at the detail on this. Look at the texture. Look at everything that goes into it. You know, this is different from just the regular museum. Even though it's a museum pose, it's different, completely different. I mean, this is a work of art that can be out in your living room. That's got something that people are going to stand there and look at for hours. Just
Here-
Coffee
in
table
awe
piece.
about every little piece. You know what I'm saying?
Here's my only caveat with that, okay? Is that whoever's producing this, whoever's doing their renders is fantastic. Now the question is who's going to do the paint from the factory to make it look like that? Because we know
Titanium.
that if you can Titanium could do the master paint, but if the factory can't do it, then they can't do it. You see what I'm saying?
Look at the tattoos. Like
Yeah.
that's gonna take a really good
No.
factory for sure.
Yeah, so my thing is like, yeah, it's a work of art, it's beautiful
right.
in this render, but what if they screw up the paint and now you get it in hand and you're like, dude, this is whack, right?
That's true. No. I totally get that. It's the ability to actually produce the product. No, I get that. But the pieces that I've come across, they've done it. You know what I mean?
From this group?
Oh no, not from this group. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't.
This group's pretty good. They have their hits and misses, but generally they're pretty good.
I think Tintium did their Silver Surfer right at 1/3 with the holding
Yeah.
the board. It's a museum.
Yeah.
That's a good
Art
piece.
Statue Collector did a review of it recently.
Did a review on it, yeah. But I think he did a review on the proto. Yeah, I don't think it was a
Yes,
factory
I don't-
piece. It's a proto.
No. That was his. That was his own personal
Was
one. I
that
think.
was that his?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, because usually guys like that are big like that do all the protos.
I love this. If they can reproduce this tattoo, man, that's awesome.
That's
Like
what
I know
we
it doesn't
got.
make sense for Wolverine to have a tattoo, but it's still badass. I don't care what anybody says.
So with this healing factor, will the
I
tattoo?
was just gonna say, won't it push the
I
ink
don't-
out?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't make any kind of sense, but
Yeah.
it's still badass.
It's magic markered.
It's not it's a shirt. It's one of those compression shirts that have the tattoos everywhere.
Right.
That's what. Yeah.
Henna. It's henna. It's a henna.
It's
yeah,
henna
yeah.
ink. Yeah.
Yeah. But you get what I'm saying though, right? I mean, this is different from just the regular yellow suit, the smooth yellow suit, like it jumped right off the comic book page.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's good that they added the stands for the heads and stuff. I like seeing that in custom groups where you got to stand for the torso and the extra heads and stuff. That's cool.
Yep.
Now see if you know a painter, and I know a painter, and I'll recommend to everybody that I recommend the last few shows. If you buy a kit, I'm pretty sure you're going to get the paint on point of how you want it. Yeah.
Oh, actually, I do know this group. I have bought from this group, so
Okay.
they've delivered. Yeah.
I don't know about
I don't
know
care.
about that
I don't
portrait.
care for this head sculpt on this one,
No.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the mask, man, the mask portraits are awesome.
I like the teeth on that one, but yeah, that the old man Logan portrait was dope.
Yeah, that one's cool. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I like the way they did the base a bit unique. Also, it's not a boring base. I kind of like The aspects on the base look good. You know, you got like
So they're also
the
doing this in 1/3 as well, quarter and 1/3.
I don't know about 1/3. I don't know if that'll look good in 1/3, honestly. But the
I
quarter,
wouldn't get it 1/3, but that's just
no, I wouldn't either.
Unless that's your one centerpiece, like Matt was saying. Like if this is your coffee table piece, I wouldn't care what size it was in because I probably won't put anything else near it except for like a Shogun Batman or something in that same art kind of direction. But
Unless you want to do this as a centerpiece, and I'm not gonna say the name of the group, but they do a lot of risque
oh yeah,
geisha
yeah,
X-Men you can put all the way around her, around him. So that would be a nice kind of little diorama.
I got a statue coming from that group. So yeah.
Which one?
She-Hulk.
Oh, you got the portrait's phenomenal. I love
But the clean, I got the clean
clean.
version. Yeah.
You don't have to justify to me. I'm nobody. You get whatever you want.
No, my grandma will come in. She'll come to visit and see that, and it'll make the news, man.
No, but that's a beautiful portrait. They did a great job. Look at this. This is awesome. This Old Man Logan's good. I really like that.
this right
That's
here.
even
Oh, I
better
love it.
with the
I love
mask.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
even
sick.
better. Now I wonder if the mask is like magnetic, where you can just pop it on and off.
I
You're
think
not
it's
gonna
all,
have two.
I think it only
I
works
think
with
it's
the
dope.
with a different torso. I think that's why there's two different torsos.
So you got Old Man
Maybe.
torso. No, because that one has a helmet. See, like he
Yeah,
has
so
the
it's
regular.
Yeah, this
he
one's
had-
got a mask and this one doesn't have a mask. I think it only works with the one torso.
Okay, so he's got two heads. Okay, so he's got two portraits.
Yeah, I like my Old Man Logan with less thicker hair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a short hair.
Yeah, I like the short hair Old Man Logan.
Yeah,
This looks
me
like
too.
Scorpion or Sub Zero to me.
Yep.
Yeah,
It does give you Sub-Zero vibes, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is sick.
It reminds me of Frank Langella when he did Skeletor in the Masters of the Universe movie.
yeah.
I'm curious how they're gonna do the blood though. Like I'm really picky about blood. Like
Yeah, blood is
Um,
challenging.
yeah, so
Oh, he's
I
holding
actually
the head.
want-
He's holding
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
head.
he's holding head. Yeah, two
Oh, I
of them, I
didn't
think.
notice that.
Yes, yeah, two.
this is the movie version right here, I guess. And this is the comic version of
Yeah,
Silver
yeah.
Samurai.
Which is cool. I like those little Easter eggs when they put those in there. So he put a lot of effort into this piece. It's good art. So it's like if you had the money, would you just get two of them? That way you can have one with the armor, like in that picture, and the other one without the armor. So you just
Nah,
have
because
to
I would have my favorite anyways. I like the armored one, I think the most,
Mhm.
but I also like the tattoos. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool.
So I showed this, I think the last time we everybody talked. But the guy finally finished the paint and it looks way better.
Mhm.
So and he took better pictures. So I figured I just pop these in here. Like I said, I'm really excited about this statue because I have it. I'm just waiting for it to get painted. And I put a poll in the group too on how I should get it painted, and I think right now it's the gold trim is winning. So
I told you.
yeah,
Mhm.
but yeah, it looks a lot better. He actually finished the gold trim. It looks better.
Yeah.
Um,
And this is actually like it's not an STL or anything, right? This is actual produced
no,
polystone.
yeah, Franco made this.
Oh, okay, Frank will make it. Yeah, yeah. I like just the whole scenery behind it. It's way better than that sideshow that just came out. I really
yeah.
don't like that sideshow piece at all. I really like this. This is good.
If you
I know.
look,
Sorry. I know the sideshow piece is canon because that's what he does in the '97 cartoons, but I just don't like it as a statue. It didn't transition for me well.
Nope, sure didn't. Me neither.
if you look real close, you can actually see what's going on. Like
Mhm.
there's bullets and things. Like
Mhm.
things are getting shot up as he's jumping. So
I think this
there's
is
bullets on the
amazing.
ground, bullets right here, bullets in the wood.
Yeah, it's good. I like the
Detail.
texture on that suit. Yeah, the texture on that suit's cool. I mean, this can't be a cheap piece because just the paint all them books, the shelving,
it was
all that
it
good
was
stuff. It's not.
it was a little over $3,000 shipped to me,
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
gravy.
yeah, yeah.
and that's before paint. I still got
And
to get it
biscuits.
painted.
Yeah, it's a
Good
kit.
gravy.
Yeah.
And biscuits.
Right.
The only thing you don't have to paint is that bust on top of the shelf. That's like the only thing you
So
save money
this
on.
is probably it's crazy. This is probably going to be my most expensive piece that I own.
Mm-hmm.
Jarhead, if you sell this piece, I'm walking to your house, man. Because I know Jarhead, it'll be like 5 months later. Jarhead, where's the piece? Yeah, I just didn't really.
$500. I just sold
Right,
it for $500.
We did a whole show on, market value,
Yeah.
aftermarket.
Real quick, Piggy, you can take off, Piggy?
Yeah, fellas, I gotta
Oh
take
man,
off
wait!
early morning.
I've been waiting on you. Hold on. I got something I've been
All right,
waiting to show you. Hold on.
Okay.
Don't go yet.
I'll flip through the pictures, some more pictures real fast.
Because I'm actually having a great time. I just gotta knock something out.
Yeah. No, this is cool.
Yeah, you see the bullets on this side?
Yeah. I see it on
Yep.
the skull too. Look at the one on the skull. Cut two on the
Yeah.
skull. I like how the books are falling. So it really tells a story. It's good.
Yeah, it's
Even how it's
a lot of
busting up
motion.
the wood on the side, like on the side
Yeah.
of the bookcase.
It split the wood?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. So put some grooves on there and stuff. That's cool. Wait, is that an urn on the bookshelf? Like who's dead in there? Right there.
I don't know.
That looks like somebody ashes in there.
It's, Kitty Pride.
That's cool. I like that.
You hear me?
That's real cool. That's dope. Yeah, we can hear you, Matt.
So, hey, Piggy. Now, I said this.
Oh,
Oh man.
he was like, Piggy,
I'm
psych.
like, really, Matt?
He's like,
Go ahead,
psych.
Jarhead did that. So I was waiting a couple months. I still got to get it. I got to get it custom framed.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah. That's
Wow.
Oh, that's
Wow.
dope, man.
dope. Yeah.
Dope. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, that's cool.
I figure.
Yeah, that's our piece, man. Wow.
So this is
Congrats,
art
man.
by John Gallagher, and he did this, and took me a minute to get it. He kind of budgeted it to me. He's up in Canada, and
Oh my God, man,
It's
that is dope.
I know, right? I had to get it.
We got to talk about that further. I'll be hitting you up throughout the week, Matt.
Yeah, that came out really great, Matt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
I've
dope.
gotta
I
get it.
love
It's a unique, different. The print's a different size, so it's got to be custom
Yeah.
framed.
Yeah.
I
So
love it, man. All right, yeah, I'll hit you up for sure on that later this week, Matt. All right,
All right, bro.
guys, I appreciate you
All right,
guys
guys.
having me on. Have a good night.
Appreciate you showing
All
up,
right,
Piggy.
later, Piggy.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, I can't wait for this piece to get painted, man.
That's
A
interesting.
vampire Batman. I don't
Is
know
that
what you guys think
canon?
about this. I know there was
I think it is.
Elseworlds Batman that
Yeah.
was a bat,
Kind of
like an actual bat.
vampire-ish.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's kind of vampire-ish. I think I actually seen that recently. Maybe on YouTube, someone did a video of Batman almost kind of like a bat. He's got his teeth. Doesn't look like a bat, but exactly like this. So like a vampire Batman kind of thing.
It looks cool.
It looks dope.
it does look cool.
Yeah.
I would rather see him with some briefs on though, for some reason. I don't know why. My Batman usually has
Yeah, he has a brief. Yeah,
them.
that's kind of different. You think
Right?
you pointed that
Right?
out?
It's like
I
he's
didn't
missing.
notice
It's
that
like he's
earlier.
missing something.
Yeah. It's like he's wearing a onesie,
Right.
but it's dope. No, it's a cool
No,
piece.
it's really cool. I like it too.
Yeah. If you're into that like kind of horror vampire genre, this is the
Yeah.
piece to get.
The cape almost looks part of him too. Like,
Yeah, why is it cracked like that?
yeah, it looks like it's part of his skin or something.
Yeah, that's kind of odd. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with it. I know I seen something about it, and it was like a quick 5-minute video about this particular Batman, but I didn't pay too much attention to it. But yeah, if that's your thing, if you like the Man Bat, this would probably go good with it. There's that custom Man Bat where he's on the Batman emblem, the light.
Yeah, that Queen Studios made a really dope one a while back. Remember that one?
Mhm. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
Well,
But this will
Sideshow's
go-
coming out with their Man Bat. That looks pretty good. Looks like the custom one.
Yeah.
I actually like the sideshow one a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Surprisingly.
Merry Christmas, I guess. To
I don't.
everybody.
I didn't understand this when I saw it. I'm like, because it's Christmas, you're gonna come out with a Christmas She-Hulk. Like,
Yeah, I mean she's
if you
green.
if you
Kind
get,
of.
look, I'm a big fan of Canon. If you can find
Yeah.
this in a comic for me, then I'll accept it. I will accept it. I was like, okay,
All, all I've got to say is ho ho ho.
yes, exactly. This version in this universe, she has an OF account. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
for
she
sure.
does.
Oh, to infinity
Oh
and beyond.
wow.
I forget this guy's. What's this guy's name?
Buzz,
Yeah,
Buzz.
Buzz
yeah, Buzz
Lightyear.
Lightyear, but that face. What is wrong with that
Yeah,
face?
yeah. The face is off though, man.
Yeah, way off. It's cool. I like the way the suit is and the base. But the face, man, they got to work on that portrait.
Yeah, for
We
sure.
were at Disney, and my son loved Buzz Lightyear, right? And he runs up to him to go give him a hug, but didn't realize his armor was like hard.
Soft. Oh, was it hard?
Yeah. No, he had a hard
really?
armor on, just like this. And he busted his lip.
Oh,
He went
wow.
right up to him. Oh, Buzz Lightyear! Boom! And it's like,
Oh, shit, that sucks.
yeah, it did, but it was. I got on tape too. It was so funny.
Next statue chat, you can just post that video. We
Yeah.
like, but no, the rendering is pretty cool. I just you got to get the portrait on point if you want to sell it. Honestly, that portrait just something not right with that portrait. But everything else cool. I like how they have the flames coming out the bottom.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty dope. I do like all the bolts and stuff and the separation of the armor and things like that. That's good. It's a pretty cool piece.
Different. Oh, this guy, he's done some pretty cool art lately.
Mhm.
This guy, he's in the custom group. He's got a small little group, but he makes some good stuff.
Yeah. Is that Power Man? Who's that?
No.
No, I forget this guy. He's in the Wrecking Crew.
The villain?
It's not
Yeah,
Absorbing
he's a
Man.
villain. He's a villain.
It's not Absorbing
Okay.
Man. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah. He's part of the
Is it
Wrecking
Absorbing Man?
Crew.
I
I can't
forgot.
remember his name.
Um,
Is he like one of those rogue gallery versions from Marvel?
Yeah, he's
is it Absorbing
think-
Man?
no, that's not
No,
Absorbing Man.
no, because he's
No.
got that ball, the chain and ball.
It's Oh man, Bowen did one. of them,
Thunderball.
too.
Thunderball. Thank
Okay.
you, Jose. Yeah, Thunderball. I like the base. Actually, I think it's quite interesting how they, instead of making one circle and some rocks, they actually implemented, the lid for the drain, the piping,
Different
and the
levels, yeah.
rebar. Yeah, that's kind of cool. That was a very good take. Kudos to that. I always look at base like when you do a sculpt so well like this and you put a crappy base on it, it really throws me off. So they put a lot of effort into that base. I like the idea that came out from it.
Attention to detail.
Yes.
Oh, Ant recently got a couple statues in that I kind of wanted to highlight. He got a bishop and domino. Did a live unboxing. Was it yesterday? I
Mhm.
think the day before. But
Nah, it was either Monday or Sunday. I think it was. I was
yeah.
driving back. I was trying to catch it.
So
Oh, he's got that custom domino in there too. That's a good one.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
Franco's.
domino's nice.
Yeah, Franco's. Yeah, I really like that. I have that. I've finally got that Cyclops. I love that Cyclops. I got the version B, and I love that freaking piece. I think it's so good. There's only one caveat to it, and I talked about it on the stream. But other than that, it's a fantastic piece.
Oh, this is that.
There it
humongous
is.
statue.
Yeah.
Ironmonger. It's
Ironmonger.
crazy. This is like the same size as that Queen Studios
Mhm.
Hulkbuster, and they're only wanting $1,000 for the statue.
Well, I mean, think about it too. If $1,000, the factory doesn't have using much paint. There's no variations of paint. There's no different colored paint. It's just that one color
Yeah.
and some on the base. And a lot of people may think, well, paint is paint. No, you go buy a car and it's a premium paint color, and then there's regular paint color. So this is just kind of one paint. I'm pretty sure maybe the ammunition might have the copper tips to it. Looks like it is right there on that left arm. So you might have a little bit of paint, and I think that's why they're able to put it out for just a rack. It's now the question is the shipping, right? How many boxes?
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's going to be quite a few, probably 3 at least.
Yeah. But it's a great piece. I know a couple people that are super happy that this piece came out because they've been waiting for one forever. Those Iron Man diehard
Yeah.
guys.
Like I love the statue, but I'm trying to stay away from movie pieces. But this
Mhm.
one definitely catches my eye for sure.
Did they offer a movie portrait?
I'm not sure. I don't.
'Cause
Is this from the comics?
I don't. I think it looks more like the movie version. I think
Yeah,
it's the movie version.
that's
I
more.
would
That's
I
more
would think they would put a bonus portrait movie of Jeff Bridges. I would think they would,
I think
right?
Ironmonger in the comics is. Or am I thinking somebody else? He's the Russian guy, or is that somebody else?
Yeah, but if this is the movie, it's Jeff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it is because the comic I thought it looked different, a little bit different. And
I don't know. It's cool. Like we were talking about
yeah,
earlier. It's art. Like
yep.
it looks amazing. But and like I said, for that size of that, and you're only paying $1,000. Like for XM or like Queen Studios or another company, this would be 3 grand easy.
hmm And think about it. If like most people are paying a rack for a quarter scale, I mean, this thing is 37 inches tall because that Hulkbuster is about 37 inches tall, total height. So you're getting a lot. You're getting a lot for a rack. So that's a good deal. And so congrats to those that picked that piece up, man. It's awesome.
Yeah. This Electro man is
Like
dope.
the
I
dope.
like this a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
Did this only come in a kit?
yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
STL actually.
It's a STL.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's STL.
Wow, they
But
did some good work.
it's amazing.
And
This is
good
probably
price
my
point
favorite
too.
Electro I've seen out there.
Yeah. Good price point too. Well, XM's got a good Electro.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I
there's
like
a
this one more than that XM
yeah,
one.
yeah. So if it's a STL, I mean, where would we get this STL? I mean, because they did a
Somebody's
really
selling it.
good job.
Somebody's selling it online. I
Yeah,
saw somebody
so I mean,
producing
think
it.
about it. I think if you get the STL for let's say $60, and then you have someone print it for 200, and then you have a painter, it'll be about a rack. You're looking at 800 to a rack.
Yeah, but
Depending on
again, you have somebody's got
work.
to have a good printer to be able to produce it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen all kinds of printers. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean it's going to
Yeah.
come out.
Well, I mean, for those that are interested in doing something like that, I met a factory and you might have seen it floating around. They're selling a piece because I sent them a customer and the customer backed out, and now they got to sell this piece they printed. It's a 1/3 scale Thanos. It was an STL file. It's been floating around. This group's trying to sell it, or this person. And they have like a high end factory that does all the 3D prints. So if you wanted a 3D print of this at high end, and they're fairly cheap. They're not expensive at all. It's the paint is what's going to be expensive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you want pro paint, if you want titanium level, pro painted, it's gonna cost you a penny. So it just depends on how bad you want the piece. But this is probably one of the best ones I've seen so far. I like to see it painted.
I like the pose. I like the detail. It looks really great.
Yeah.
I think Spider-Man has some of the best villains as far as for statues.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the top. Like I wish they would do like before XM went out of business or whatever was going on with them. If they would do like a Spider-Man Sanity type deal where like he's surrounded by his bad guys, his rogues. That'd be
Yeah, but
dope.
someone already did that, right? That custom group did it.
Custom group, yeah, but that
Quarter
was
scale.
crazy expensive and it's huge.
And it's a pain
I
in
would,
the butt.
I would settle for a 1/6 of that,
Yeah, but I heard it was a pain in the butt put together too. People were
Oh, yeah.
just taking 8 hours to put that thing together. It's nuts.
Yeah, but this came out really good. I like this a lot.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good piece. Really good piece. I like to see someone paint it and do the light up features
Yeah.
on the electrical.
Some some more Batman love here.
Is that more of a Ben Affleck style Batman? Because that uniform kind of gives me that vibe.
He's thicker too. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I dig the cape though. The flow of the
Cape's
cape.
cool. Yeah.
And I will say, like, the was it the Detective 1000 from Prime One
Prime
when he's
One.
on the building looks small on that one, but this one looks like it actually fits.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, I have that 1000. I love that piece.
Mhm.
That looks like more of a Affleck or like a Dark Knight Returns. The mask,
The ears are really small.
short. Yeah, yeah.
But I like the cape a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Ninja
Catwoman.
Catwoman.
Yeah, I think that's what that one is. I just
I
saw
haven't
it. I
seen
think
that
I saw that a couple of days ago. Yeah, it's Catwoman.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, that I like everything about it. Even like her walk, the proportions look good. I'm just getting tired of the rooftop with the cats.
Yeah,
I'm just seeing it
you
too
see it,
much.
every Catwoman is like
Every
that.
Catwoman is like, does she live on the roofs the whole time? So I get a little tired of it. It's kind of, I know I might get martyred for this, but it's like seeing a Sentinel on every single X-Men piece. It's just driving me nuts. It's
Yeah.
just too much. But yeah, no, this one's pretty dope too.
It's a cool concept. I like when they do different stuff. Like
Hmm.
it's not always for me, but sometimes cool concepts are like are out there, but it don't make sense. But sometimes it's like, man, that's work of art. Like I want
Hmm.
that.
The artist interpretation too. Yeah,
Yeah, like XM Samurai line, man. Like that. Those are all dope pieces.
yeah,
This is really cool though, man. It's just pretty, and it's a realistic piece. I mean, look at her jacket, look at the
yeah.
detail.
Hmm.
Her shoes. I don't know what if you can get a close up on the suit. I mean, it's just it looks like just a regular leather suit. I mean,
Hmm.
it looks more movie type or more modern.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? More realistic, something you can see. A real
Yeah,
Catwoman wearing versus what you would see.
yeah. It looks
The
good.
cat looks cross-eyed though. She's a-
Don't they all?
Do you see the cat?
I got that black cat that I did the unboxing, and Tweeter had cat. They both had cross-eyed eyes. Both cats, two different companies. It's funny.
Well,
It
that's all
was
the pictures that I have. So,
How you like
was
that
that like
smoke though?
400 pictures?
nah, I wasn't even close to that. I think today it was like 100,
Yeah,
but smoke effect wasn't that great. I don't think on that.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the only thing. That's really challenging. I think only one piece that I did an unboxing that the smoke was like almost damn near on point,
Yeah.
and that was the Prime One Studios Attack on Titan Trinity. I did a review on that one, and that smoke was so good. But
The
like my
I think smoke, clouds, and like fire are like really hard. Snow too,
yeah,
to a certain point.
yeah, but not as, I don't think it's as tough as smoke and clouds and stuff. It's very challenging to kind of get it on point. It is.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of pieces with clouds and smoke. I'm like, dude, this looks like a bunch of marshmallows stuck together. It doesn't. It's very difficult to implement that kind of vibe you're trying to get. Even my 1000, the smoke's not that great, but I love the piece anyways.
Yeah. Well, guys, unless you have anything else, I mean, we can take off right here in the stream. Appreciate everybody coming out. I know a lot of guys had to get off. Um, um Dion, I think he had an issue with his dog. I think his dog was not doing good or something, so he had to get off.
Hmm.
But I appreciate everybody showing up. Hope Dion's dog does well, gets better or whatever. I don't know what happened. Thank you guys for showing up and hanging out. Appreciate you guys
Absolutely.
talking statues with us for a little while.
So yeah.
So always appreciated.
Such
Take it easy,
nonsense.
guys.
All right, thanks for having me. Peace.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Appreciate it.